late is because I brought my or mason jars of water and I spilled my trough of coffee. And I've been trying to fix it. But okay. That's why, Dieter's like, are you hungover? I'm like, no, bro. I spilled the coffee, dude. Come on now.
Outside in the warm Miami air, Winchell turned to me.
What was your name again, kid?
It's still Heller. Nathan S. Heller.
Aren't you going to spell it?
Look, I don't want to be in your story.
Good, because you're not. You're Chicago, right?
Born and bred.
What do you make of that, in that cell back there?
You're New York. What do you make of it?
It's horseshit. I think that little bastard hit Cermak. I think he thinks he's dying from that stomach of his, and the mobsters probably promised to support his family back in Italy in return for him taking Tony out, and for his silence. What do you think?
I think you're right on the money. But if you print it, nobody will believe a word.
What's the guy to do? Bullshit they'll believe. Take it from me. Facts only bore 'em.
Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Here I am in 1987. Silver platters. That's right. That's me. And the reason I'm holding up Out of Africa is because that was the biggest movie that came out that week. Once again, hello, imagination connoisseurs. I am your pharaoh of physical media I can just say, imagine this full. I just spilled this. The reason we're late, I was walking in here trying to carry both of these and this coffee. It did not end well. I'm just saying, it didn't end well. Perhaps I bit off more than I can chew. That's what she said. Anyway, it's a show. It's Let's Get Physical Media. It's another episode. You didn't tune into this show to hear about my coffee travails. You tuned into this show to hear about one man. A great man, admittedly. A man from the EU. A man who realizes why the Europeans need to look elsewhere for military protection than this country. We have betrayed our European allies. But you know what we haven't betrayed? The fact that we buy discs from Europe because they have things we don't have here. Germans make media books. Does America? No. Are we making America great again? No. We have no American media books. We barely have American physical media. Disney, Fox, I'm looking at you. But you know who's here to talk about it? All the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. You know him. You love him. He is Dieter Bastian.
Well, Rob, after controversial halftimes last week on the Super Bowl, I hope our halftime will be less controversial. And I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here I am, Rocky like Hurricane. And welcome back to the B&B Motel, where we took a little break last week when Rob felt a little bit under the weather and the Super Bowl was going on. But here we are with hopefully more discs than we would have last week. And Rob, let's go back a little bit 2 weeks ago, because I want just to ask you, did you do the double feature, Strangers, Chapter 3, and Whistle, and is at least one of those movies watchable?
Okay, here's the thing. I was predisposed. I couldn't get down to see Strangers Chapter 3. However, Alvaro did. And I did get down, and we did a banger double feature. I saw Whistle and Charlie XCX's The Moment.
Okay.
So I did.
Give us a little bit, just a quick take.
Well, I thought Whistle was incredibly derivative. However, this Canadian-Irish co-production, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. It was the lore was good. I thought the acting was good. I really enjoyed X-23. Snikt was in it. She was great. And I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I thought the moment was fantastic. It's a mockumentary like Spinal Tap, but Charlie XCX has quickly become one of my favorite people. From doing her Criterion Closet about waxing rhapsodic about David Cronenberg, pardon me, big fan. And we saw 2 double features this week. I saw a double feature on Thursday.
With one featuring music from Charlie.
Yes, so I saw Wuthering Heights, the very thirsty Wuthering Heights from Emerald Fennell. And then we saw Crime 101, and then I saw Cold Storage, and I saw
3 movies.
4 movies, dude. That was Wuthering Heights and Crime 101 was Thursday. On Friday, I saw Cold Storage and Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
Quick reviews, Rob.
Four movies. Okay. Wuthering Heights, I thought, was the Blade Runner of Emily Bronte movies. It was
We need
beautiful.
your quotes on the cover, Rob. We need your quotes.
It was beautiful to look at, but look, here's the thing. I am tired. I understand Gen Z doesn't want to have sex. They don't want to touch. If you're going to show me people fucking, and maybe because we can see people fucking on the internet whenever you want, but if you're going to shoot it as well as Emerald Fennell shot this, like there's a movie I actually wrote, a book that I adapted that I want to make that has a sex scene in it that is supposed to look like something that Wong Kar-wai did, where you don't see any body parts. But look, if you're going to show me Margot Robbie, she already was in Wolf of Wall Street. It gets, if you have like 10 different sex scenes in a movie, and especially a montage of sex scenes, and you see no body parts, not even a bare ass on a dude thrusting. But I liked it. Okay. A lot of people look, Impression Blend, one of my favorite YouTubers. I would suggest watching that, or Deep Focus Lens. The ladies who are reviewing this movie were not fans of it. The dudes are fans of it.
Pretty divisive.
It is. Okay. And I think the ladies know more than we do. So perhaps we should listen to them. Crime 101, it was good. It was not great, but I liked it. I enjoyed watching it. I love seeing the Winslow verse, Don Winslow's book, being brought to life. It was beautifully made, well directed. Again, my problem was with the script. I think there was a lot of things that they left untouched. It didn't quite work as it wasn't the tight drum of a script that I hoped it would be. And I learned a lot because it was based on a novella, and hopefully the True Noir motion picture, which is also based on a novella, has a much tighter screenplay than Crime 101 did. Because Max Allan Collins is
Did they use the LA locations, Rob, for Crime 101?
They you know what? Not as much as you would think. And for a movie called Crime 101, there is not a major action set piece on the 101 for the climax of the movie, which I thought was the climax of the movie takes place at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, which is really nowhere near the 101. Which I understand that might be the story, but for a movie called Crime 101, they really needed, and there isn't, to be fair, there is not a place near the 101 that would have been credible where the end of the movie was supposed to take place. But it's like this movie's called Crime 101, and it ends like, look, I'm a Californian on SNL, Saturday Night Live, the Californians. Dude, yeah, we took the 405 to the 105 to the 710. Blah. I'm one of those guys. So locations, if you're going to make a movie called Crime 101 that is based on committing crimes on the 101 freeway, you can't then have your action set piece off the 101. As a matter of fact, the crime was closer to the 405, which bugged the shit out of me. Anyway,
really, I'm not familiar with the territory where.
I know it's just me, but it's like it's called Crime 101. It's based on one. I mean, even when they're in Calabasas, where I used to live, that's off the 101 or close to Calabasas. You know, you can see the Kardashians in one of the locations of the movie. But anyway, that's fine. Cold Storage was a banger.
I heard it's fun.
It's
I
so
heard
much
it's big
fun.
fun.
It's Return of the Living Dead. It's Night of the Comet. It's Tremors. It's Cabin Fever, even though it
Written
came
by
later.
David Koepp, I believe, Rob.
David Koepp, who is not the greatest screenwriter in the world, but it's based on his novel. He didn't direct, but really enjoyed it. I thought it was really enjoyable. Good luck, have fun, don't die. Gore Verbinski returning to film after 10 years. Was also a lot of fun, but unfortunately the screenplay didn't amount to much. I felt that...
A little bit too long, perhaps?
I didn't care if it was too long. It just didn't know it. You know what? It was really interesting. The first half was really great. Loved it. Set up all this interesting stuff. The second half, they didn't know what they were doing. It was very apparent to me that they wanted to make this... It has to do with AI and other things. It just didn't work. And it reminded me a lot of A Case for Wellness, Gore Verbinski's last movie, which the first half I thought was great. And the second half, you're like, wait, what? What? It just didn't hang together. But that said, I would recommend it. I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
It wasn't smart. It was a movie that thought it was very smart, but it was actually kind of brain dead, if that makes any sense. But again, as you would expect from Gore Verbinski, beautifully made. And then I also watched the new episode of The Beauty. Isabella Rossellini, give her that Emmy. Give her that Emmy. God,
I'm still waiting for some more episodes. And 2 weeks ago, Rob, we already talked about it here on our show last year. Dragula from Luc Besson was starting in America.
Show it again. Show it again. Put it up one more. Put it up again.
In the theaters, because Rob G mentioned it too when he was in France, that it's already out in France to purchase. And like I said, it's a fine movie, a little bit on the whimsical side with the CGI gargoyles. And it opened, strangely, in the States 2 weeks ago. So, Rob, do you have a little bit of a box office rundown of all those new movies?
Well, it's funny that you ask, because having spilled, I like to spill the tea. I do not like to spill the coffee. Although I do smell like coffee, and I love the smell of coffee, so I'm going to smell like coffee all day long, which is, fantastic. So let's take a gander at this week's box office. Shall we, Dietz? Hang on, I've got it for you right here.
Yeah. For the weekend in the States, as I hear.
Is it? Last weekend was.
No, with the free Monday. I believe you have holiday.
Is that true? Maybe. Disney is the first studio to cross 1 billion worldwide in 2026. Here we go. In a weekend with the first biggest global openings of 2026 with Warner Brothers MRC's Wuthering Heights, it made 82 million global. Sony's GOAT, the animated movie, made 47.6 million, and Amazon MGM's Crime 101, very respectable, 29.8 million. Disney is heralding that they're the first major motion picture studio to cross $1 billion at the box office. So Crime 101 found an audience. It made 12 million international on Valentine's Day, thanks to great reviews with a great spike in the UK. So that's good. But let me go to the charts, because that is not the domestic. I need to find the domestic.
It was international.
That was international. Hang on, I'm looking for. Here we go. So this is box office, and wow, is this still domestic? Anthony D'Alessandro. I just want a fucking chart. Give me a box. Oh, here we go. So, Wuthering Heights made. It is a holiday weekend. They're projecting 40 million for week one. GOAT, 32 million. Crime 101 is 17.8 million domestic. Send Help at number 4 is up to basically, let's call it 50 million. Solo Mio from Angel Studios is at 16.1 million. Zootopia 2 has crossed domestically 420.6 million. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is at number 7. It's only at 1,600 theaters. Made 4.1 million. Avatar, Fire and Ash, posted another 3.3 million. Iron Lung, Markiplier's movie at 38 million. 38 million domestic. That means he takes home half of that, and that's just domestic. Dracul made 9.5 million. There is our top 10 domestic.
A lot of movies.
Box office gross. It's true.
A lot of movies. Rob, before I dive a little bit into what I have seen over the last 2 weeks digitally, we have a lot of super chats.
Have you seen The Beauty?
Not yet, Rob. I'm waiting for more episodes, before I start.
God
damn.
damn.
I'm more of a binger. But I saw we have a lot of super chats already.
Okay, here we go. We got Content Kyle has become an imagination connoisseur, a member of the channel. Spelled with a K. Does that mean you're Russian? Welcome. Richard Curtis, the man who wrote Love Actually, even though he didn't, probably. It's not. If it is the real Richard Curtis, that would be awesome. I'm just going to assume it is. I love Love Actually. Richard Curtis says, I saw Wuthering Heights today. I actually really liked it. I liked it too. And the changes from the book didn't annoy me. I can also understand why it would be changed into a single timeline. I do too. I think the dudes like it because it's the Blade Runner of Emily Bronte movies. And the chicks, and I would think they would be thirsty for our boy, Jacob. But, what can you do? Happy S'mores says, can you talk a little bit about the difference between Blu-ray and 4K, and is it worth it for a new collector to just attempt to start with 4K? That's a great question. Well, Dietz, technically, 4K is about 4 times better than HD, which is 6 times better than DVD. So I would say that, now here's the thing. A lot of movies, like if you want true 4K, movies have to either be shot on film, photochemically, or they need to be shot in a digital format that's 4K or above. Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, you get an upscale, which, like a lot of the Marvel movies, were finished at 2K.
Right. In
the digital era, you can look into that. I like the 4K format when the remasters are done well. Die Hard has never looked better than it has on 4K. Alien looks incredible on 4K. There are movies like Michael Mann's Heat. I don't know what Michael Mann was thinking, but Heat is too dark in 4K. It's just too dark. So you really have to look. I mean, you have to make sure. Sometimes Blu-ray is a great format. And I'm sure you and I have twice. Actually, I probably have 6 times more Blu-rays than I have 4Ks. Correct. But I am trying to get more 4Ks. The real question is this. Don't wonder what format you should get your movie on. You should worry about what equipment you have. So in order to truly enjoy the 4K format, you should have a big TV that's 4K capable. You need to have a disc player that's 4K capable. And you should have a sound system that you can avail yourself of things like Dolby Atmos. If you don't have the right equipment, it doesn't matter what transfer you get. I mean, look, I haven't seen Ben-Hur yet, but the Ben-Hur Blu-ray transfer was old. It was done, I think, in the 2010s, around there. The new, as Bill Hunt said on the Digital Bits, he said the new Ben-Hur transfer was a hell of a thing. I am sure the new Blu-ray transfer, the new 4K transfer of Ben-Hur is incredible because transfer technology has become better. It is a marquee title. It's one of the cornerstone titles of the MGM Warner Brothers library. They pulled out all the stops to make sure that transfer was incredible. So Ben-Hur,
and I think, Rob, it's even spread over 2 discs.
It is, considering two BD100s. So that's exactly what you should do. I mean, but the interesting thing is you have to ask yourself, do you have the equipment that's going to allow you to avail yourself of the 4K format? And then you have to be discerning. You have to look, you have to find out. Like, look, for instance, Speed Racer, the Wachowski Speed Racer is coming out in 4K. I don't believe that movie was finished or shot in 4K. However, it's going to have an uncompressed soundtrack on 4K.
Yeah.
The Blu-ray, because it didn't do well at the time, is not great. It has a compressed
It was
soundtrack.
one of the earlier Blu-rays that came out, Rob.
Yeah, it is, and I'm sure that
pretty early Blu-ray.
So you've got to ask yourself like those questions. So there
Probably
you go.
a BD 25 even.
Yeah, it was a BD 25. And the thing is, the format is incredible. The 4K format is the most incredible home video format that's ever existed. That said, it's really incumbent upon the studios to deliver a product, and certainly companies like Second Sight do. The boutique labels are killing it when it comes to 4K. Sometimes the studios, not so much. You'll get a BD 66 with compressed images, which sucks. So there he goes, Happy.
But I'm envious, Rob, of people who are just starting collecting, who don't have all the baggage that we have. Could you imagine starting now? You could be very, very more picky.
Yeah, well, no, I can't, because the amount of I would never be able to catch up. I think I surpassed 1,000 4K titles.
Okay.
It's just not good. 200 Watt Studio says, Rob, in episode 5 of Starfleet Academy, if they were going to discuss Cisco, Deep Space Nine, and the Dominion War, why didn't they have the Jem'Hadar lady teaching it? Because Star Trek Starfleet Academy is the very worst science fiction TV series ever made. It is terrible on every level. And the people that decided to make a half Jem'Hadar, half Klingon, with a species that couldn't procreate, that was grown in laboratories, that was male only, they've never watched Star Trek. Every episode of Starfleet Academy, it tells me that the creators of the show never bothered to watch the Star Trek TV shows. Star Trek, which is probably the most documented television series in history. There are tens of thousands of pages and millions of website pages dedicated to dissecting Star Trek. The people that write Starfleet Academy are the fucking worst. Even Kirsten Beyer, who writes Star Trek novels, I've always wanted Star Trek novelists to get involved. That show is fucking brain dead. It is terrible. And as a show set in the Star Trek universe, it could not be more awful. As 200 Watt Studio says, why didn't they have the Jem'Hadar hybrid that, by the way, shouldn't exist, teach Deep Space Nine lore? Because, let's face it, the Jem'Hadar were created by the Dominion to fight solids. And the fact that they didn't involve her is one of the many reasons why that show is an epic fail on every creative level. And the thing is, the people over at Memory Alpha, the Star Trek website, have to figure out a way to incorporate this fucking fraudulent garbage into Star Trek lore. And that's just one example of why that show is terrible. It is terrible. And the people that watch it, I can't watch it. I've tried. I watched episode 6. I watch it and I'm like, this is insulting. These people, it's like watching, you know what it is? Watching Starfleet Academy is like watching a show or watching a movie based on an Emily Bronte book, where it doesn't seem like the person read the book. Oh, wait, I'm kidding. But it's kind of like that. And it's maddening to watch. Maddening. Far from the madding crowd, but maddening. Anyway, I hate it. 200 Watt Studio, I hate it.
I can imagine.
I hate it more than I hate Discovery. And my hatred for Discovery, I don't even understand.
It's already a high bar to clear.
I don't understand how people can watch, the people that are making the show, watch the show and have the, why would they even put it out? I'm like, I get it. You cast your check, so it doesn't matter. It is fucking cultural vandalism. I've been watching it since 2017. It is terrible. Those people are fucking horrible people. The people that write that show, you're all horrible. You didn't do the work. You didn't do the work. You did not learn about the very thing that you're supposed to be making a show about. Nor have you tried to make a great show about what Starfleet Academia would look like. Fuck you guys. Fuck everybody that makes that fucking show. You're terrible. You are terrible. You're everything that's wrong with America right now. And there's a lot wrong with America. But you're everything because you represent the fact that you didn't do the work. You are fraudulent creators. Fuck you. Anyway, 200 Watt Studio goes on to say, meaning, how is there a female Jem'Hadar at all? Exactly. Because these creators are fucking masturbatory, narcissistic, navel-gazing, talentless fuckheads. Fuck them. And you tell them I said that. Fuck you. And fuck Paramount and CBS for allowing this swill to go on since 2017. We've put up with 9 years of garbage. You have ruined your IP. More than any other IP has been ruined ever in the history of ruination. Fuck you. Fuck you. Anyway, the real Thomas Logan says, Bobby, it's been 2 months since my Kubrick letter. Yes, it has.
Yes,
I will get to it.
Yes, sir.
Secular Monk says, after Ben-Hur and ATPM on 4K, what's next from Warner Brothers Discovery? What would you want to see? Maybe The Last Samurai, The Wild Bunch, or Caddyshack? Happy birthday, Rob. Well, that's a good question. There is one thing that I know that Warner Archive is doing, which I can't say what it is, that is going to be one of the most astonishing restorations in cinema history. But I can't say what it is.
At least I know you want the right stuff, Rob. That I know.
Criterion has the rights to the right stuff. Why they have not put it out? They've owned the rights to the right stuff for a long time. We're going to get to Criterion later today. I do not know why we haven't got the right stuff, but that is probably one of. But I will say this: I've got some titles here from Arrow. Arrow in the next year. We are going to get an embarrassment of riches from Warner Brothers. And I can't say everything because it hasn't been announced. There is at least 100 titles that Warner Brothers has licensed out between Scream Factory, Criterion, or Shout Factory, and Arrow. Arrow is going to be, and if you think about it, like here are some 70s titles or science fiction titles I would love to see. Forbidden Planet, Soylent Green, the Omega Man, Logan's Run, Fantastic, Forbidden Planet. Did I already say that? 2010, Contact, Lady Hawk. Are those coming out? No man can say. But maybe. I don't know. I do know that Warner Brothers has licensed a lot of their titles, but again, Right Stuff has been owned by Criterion for, I think, 5 years, and they've done fuck all with it. They missed the 40th anniversary in 2023. And what I like to see, I'll say this. From Warner Brothers, the title I most want to see is Ken Russell's Uncut The Devils.
Okay.
That includes the Rape of Christ sequence. Yeah. I think that, and you know what? If Warner Brothers doesn't want to release it, give it to Second Sight, which you can't because it could be UK only. Then give it to Arrow, or basically The Devils should come out from Criterion and let them put it out. I mean, I don't know who's got a problem with The Devils, but put out The Devils. It's just a fucking movie. But that would be one of the ones that I think should come out.
Yeah.
Agent Silver Fox. That's what people say about me. No. However, it is the 60th anniversary, so think on the positive side. The original series 6 scale figures. Hey, look, man, I love what X06 is doing. I'm still getting those figures. They're the best figures. You can't see them, but I have them all almost. I love what X06 is doing, and you're right, we're getting them. Louis XVI Feliciano says thoughts on the passing of James Vanderbeek.
Way too early.
48 years old.
Even if I wasn't a big Dawson's Creek fan.
6 kids, a beautiful wife, incredibly beautiful family. I mean, it's a terrible tragedy. Yeah. And, James Vanderbeek was a much better actor, I think, than people would associate him with. Of course, he was great in Dawson's Creek. I have said that Roger Avery's movie, The Rules of Attraction, which is a sequel in a way. If you consider that there's a Bret Easton Ellis verse, there are 3 movies. I mean, there's actually 4. So you have Less Than Zero, which was the first, which is not a great movie, but the performances are great. Robert Downey Jr. And James Spader re-teaming after Tough Turf. And then you have American Psycho. And then you have Rules of Attraction. And Rules of Attraction and American Psycho came out very close together back in the early 2000s. The Rules of Attraction stars James Vanderbeek as Sean Bateman, who is the younger brother of Patrick Bateman, the protagonist in American Psycho. So, and then, of course, you had The Informers is another movie, the Mosaic film, kind of like Bret Easton Ellis' Shortcuts. But it was really sad. And James Vanderbeek playing Sean Bateman, that performance is fucking scary. He was terrific in that. But I think he was somebody that never got out. I mean, you know, he was in Varsity Blues. He never got out from under the Dawson label. I mean, it was such an iconic character. But the man's 48 years old. And if you go back and you watch his TikTok videos about, you know, his impending death and stuff, it's hard.
We already survived him, Rob, you know?
Yeah. And Luis Feliciano says, in the 2023 DVD and Blu-ray releases of Dawson's Creek, did they switch the theme song back to the original song, I Don't Want to Wait by Paula Cole? I have no idea, but how can you not? Did they really not have the license? Okay. I can't believe that they would release Dawson's Creek without that song. That is the Dawson's Creek theme song. But that was one of the things that, see, this is something about our world that pisses me off. If somebody didn't get the rights because they never thought, well, we're not going to put it out on physical media, or it's ridiculous that they didn't tie up those rights. And, you know, Wise Guy still does not have all the Dead Dog Records music in it, nor will it ever. I do not know if that's the case. I can't imagine not having that song at the beginning of Dawson's Creek. What a dumb thing to do. Yeah. He also goes on to say a third super chat and says,
but he said they switched it back, Rob. Did it? Get that wrong? Did they?
He asked the question. Did they switch it back?
He asked the question. Oh, okay. So probably not. Okay.
I don't know.
Music is always tough. Always tough.
And he says he just finished watching Varsity Blues. R.I.P. James Vanderbeek. I never met James Vanderbeek, but by all accounts, he was a wonderful human being, and he certainly had a beautiful wife and 6 beautiful. There's a picture of them that John Campea showed on the John Campea show. You couldn't have imagined a more beautiful family than all of them. And you know what? I don't care if a GoFundMe made over $1 million for them. You have a mother who's now widowed and 6 kids. I don't care how rich they are. It's never enough. And if people wanted to donate to their family, they deserve to do so. And so did the family. They've lost their father, the breadwinner, and whatever money they get, more power to them, because it's never enough. Paul Bernardo says, where is Wild Wild Planet?
Wait, what's happening this year, Paul? Just saying.
No one
Rob, I think,
is a bigger Wild Wild Planet fan than me. And people are like, what's Wild Wild Planet? Well, it's a Franco-Italian co-production from 1965, and all you have to do is go to YouTube right now and type in Wild Wild Planet trailer, and I defy everybody to not say, that looks like the greatest movie of all time. I must see it. Warner Archive has put it out in 4K.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, we're going to talk about some Warner Archive 4K titles soon, but Wild Wild Planet, just saying, we'll see. We shall see. I think we're caught up with super chats. Let me jump in to, hang on. I have not jumped in to tips yet, and people leave tips. Hang on.
Yeah.
Were we really on for 6 hours last night? I don't even remember.
Yeah, around that.
Were we? Okay.
At least the live stream were going on way longer than 6 hours.
Were they?
Yeah, the live stream was still going, Rob.
Is it still? Did I forget to turn it off?
No, not anymore, Rob. Not anymore.
Oh, did I fall asleep? Anyway.
No idea.
All right. Well, we're caught up, Dieter. Where are we? What is this show about? I don't know.
Physical media, even if I want to talk about the digital stuff that I've seen, but I will put it at the end of the show, dive a little bit more into it, and I would say we show some physical media, Rob.
Why don't you start?
When the show is what it's about. Okay. I've got some titles price reduced, everything all over the place. I've got from Sony Thunderheart, and I don't think
I need to get that.
Seen that movie. It comes from Sony, but it's just, let me just see, it's just a 4K. So, no Blu-ray here from Sony. Thunderheart. Then, Rob, one of the newer movies from last year, it will come out here in Germany in May. So we are really the last in line to get the movie, even if it's tied to our history, Rob. I saw Nuremberg in original title, or Nuremberg here, and I really had a good time with it, Rob, because I don't need to be such movies based on historical events to be 100% accurate. It's still a movie, it should still entertain me, and it certainly did. And Rob, if you haven't seen it, your boy, Rob,
My boy
Richard E.
Russell
Grant.
Crowe.
Not Russell Crowe, Richard E. Grant, Rob.
Oh,
Your boy,
yes.
Richard E. Grant has a great scene in it to put the final nail in the coffin about those.
The final nail in the
all the
coffin is
bad
my
guys.
left shoe today, just so you know.
Yeah, final nail in the coffin. So I really had a good time with Nuremberg. Really can recommend it. Really nice one. Unfortunately, a bare bones disc. No special features, and then especially with the topic, you would expect a little bit more audio commentary or something like that. And it's not a 4K, it's just a Blu-ray, but there will be a 4K coming out in France at least, and I think even a Steelbook. So I really had a good time with this one. Nuremberg.
Well, it's about
Fortunately,
your fellow
Nope.
countrymen.
Yeah, exactly, Rob. And even Russell, I have to give him some props. That speaks some German in it, you know. I'm really curious, Rob, when it comes out in Germany, you know, it will be dubbed, how they will do the scenes with the translator again, you know. Like there was the scene, I always remember the scene from Band of Brothers, where they freed the concentration camps, and they had a translator with them, you know. And in German, you know, the German dub, everyone was speaking German, you know. Made no sense, you know. Really curious how they will do that in German. But Russell, really nice one with the German sentences here. Really nice one. Unfortunately, not good enough for Academy Awards. Cat in the Backdrop, haven't seen it, from My Neighbors, a French movie. It's called No One. Let me just see if I said it correctly. Yeah. French movie. No One Will Know. Looks a little bit like a thriller, murder mystery, but I haven't seen it. So, Cat in the Back, but it actually features a French Dolby Atmos track. German dub is 5.1. So, but just a Blu-ray, nothing special, just reversible cover art to get rid of the German rating. Well, I was not a biggest fan, or even disappointed, from Longlegs. Even for the Monkey was worse. But the Keeper is somewhere in between. Quite enjoyed it. So I've got the Blu-ray from me on the 4K and the Blu-ray.
It has a good ending.
Yeah, certainly. But I was still hoping with the next one, us to do the CGI better, you know, in your movies. Then, Rob, you showed me that title before we started the show, because you spilled on coffee, but now I'm the first to show it.
Oh, come on.
Steelbook. for one.
Okay. Let's show it together, dude.
The Cuckoo's Nest.
Here, I too got the Steelbook for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Little Milos Forman action. By the way, a movie produced by, let's say it with me now, Michael Douglas. Fantastic film, Best Picture winner, an incredible movie. So I too have this. And let's go back to you full frame, and you show the rest to us. Now I can put this in my Steelbook cover.
Yeah. And since we are always balanced here up from the finest art, Oscar-worthy, to a little bit more action-heavy Hong Kong stuff, I've got from Retro Gold, Iron Angels 3, Rob. And I was not disappointed by the movie, but what was inside, Rob. Because when I opened it, there was, I don't know if I can make it visible, there was one DVD, and I thought, okay, the Blu-ray is in the back. No, Rob. It was a DVD again. So I contacted them, but I haven't heard back from them. So
wait,
not to
you froze for a minute.
Frozen?
You froze for a minute. Yeah. You're back. You're back now.
I'm back. Okay. So I hope they will change the situation so that I can get at least one Blu-ray of the movie. And Vinegar Syndrome put out the Iron Angels movie in a nice package with all three of them. This one is slightly different because it has a little bit more footage sliced in, a little bit more unrated, but it's not that much. And unfortunately, you have a little bit of a big drop quality-wise. So Iron Angels 3, nice media book. Unfortunately, not a Blu-ray in it. 2 DVDs. Hopefully, it will get changed. Then, cut in the back from Nameless, a little bit of a limited edition. It looks a little bit like a claustrophobic survival thriller. It's just called Cutterhead. But this is not, let me just see, this is not a 4K, there's a Blu-ray and, Blu-ray and DVD, so not 2 DVDs. So looks like a claustrophobic thriller, but it is a cat in the back, as we say here. So not seen it, not seen any trailers of it, but nice one. First horror up from me, Cutterhead.
Well, I'm still picking up the pieces of the incredible coffee spill of 2026. Boy, some things got doused. I'm very upset about it. What can you do? Anyway, I'll show you some of the things that I got besides the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. First of all, let's start out. I received a mysterious animated disc in the mail. It came from Krizik, who's a longtime member of the channel. He showed this anime. We got our last member call from last week got a copyright. It didn't get a strike, but it got demonetized because he showed a clip from this anime on our member call. So the show is demonetized.
Demonetized, even if it's that specific, Rob.
Well, it was demonetized because he showed he didn't even have the sound on, but it got demonetized. Anime companies, they're very litigious. So this is Aim for the Ace. It is a Japanese animation about high school girls in tennis camp. I haven't watched it yet, but it aims for the big screen. Sumika Yamamoto's classic best-selling sports manga. Aim for the Ace, very cornerstone of Japanese animation. Happy to have this. I can't wait to watch it. So I want to thank Krizik for sending that to me, which is...
Perhaps inspiration for the challengers, Rob. Who knows?
You never know. And then, of course, I got a couple things from Warner Brothers, from Warner Archive. Again, more of their compilation. They've sent me all these individual movies, but I like having these compilation discs. The Spencer Tracy collection that has Fury Blood, Fury, Bad Day at Black Rock, Northwest Passage, and The Libeled Lady. So, again, all on individual discs, all worth getting.
Yeah.
Thanks, Warner Archive. They also sent me the Fred Astaire collection, The Bandwagon, Easter Parade, Silk Stockings, which is a great movie, and Finian's Rainbow. Actually, another good movie. So that came in. And then this is the big one, Broadway on the big screen, Gypsy, Guys and Dolls, The Pajama Game, Damn Yankees, Twiggy, and Brigadoon. 6 films, all
6
from
movies.
Warner Archive. I have to say, once again, George Feltenstein and the fellows and girls at Warner Archive are doing a great job because they've repackaged, again, the thought put into it. They've repackaged these films. They've made them affordable. You're getting like this Broadway, 6 films in one. Good stuff. And kudos to Warner Archive for doing that. I don't know where it, apparently I left it.
And they don't take away much space, Rob, on the shelf.
No, which is great. Kino Lorber, I only got a couple of titles from them, but one, I've already shown the Blu-ray of The Mechanic, the Charles Bronson movie. So they sent me the 4K, but they also sent me Hal Ashby's Rolling Stone documentary, Let's Spend the Night Together, in 4K. So they've sent to me in DVD, Blu-ray, and in 4K. I actually saw this movie in the theater.
You're set.
So let's spend the night together in 4K. It's got audio commentary, and hey, it's great to have this. This is, of course, from 1982. Definitely worth seeing in 4K. And then, finally, I did not get the Steelbook of this, but I did get Boogie Nights in 4K.
Nice.
Did get Boogie Nights. Happy to have Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
And then I got a couple of titles. I bought some stuff at the Arrow sale. And but you know what? I'm going to hold off.
Yeah, there was some.
I'll show that on my second because I want to crack open the cellophane on these. So that was my first haul, but I'll come back to my second haul. Okay. And
and we are right on the timing, Rob, because I can see the headliner has joined us. We are late on the starting point for ourselves, but the headliner is on time.
The headliner is always on time. He has a lot to talk to us about, especially the FBI in the C Wing this week was a surprise.
Ooh.
And he'll have to talk about that and what happened because I don't really know. But you know him, you love him. Mr. Max Allen Collins, he who comes from a world where, check it out, burning up the charts, Return of the Maltese Falcon. He waited a long time to publish this book. It's out now. Go to Barnes & Noble, any Barnes & Noble. Just send, actually, as a matter of fact, all of you right now, go to the Barnes & Noble website and complain that you cannot get the hardcover for the Return of the Maltese Falcon. Let's get it burning up the charts. Max, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Oh, we can't hear you. Uh-oh. He's silent. He's silent because he had to shut up about what happened in the C Wing with the FBI. It happened. It happened.
No witnesses needed.
Well, no, apparently there were 2 witnesses that were from a totally different case that were found mysteriously unalived in the C Wing. Let's see if Max, can we hear you yet? Nope. Not yet. Can't hear you yet, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. We're still here. We are still here.
Yeah. So if you want, Rob, I can.
Oh, now we can hear him.
No.
Can we hear you now? You had to silence yourself because of the FBI. We'll talk about that later. I understand that it's still an ongoing open investigation, but at least you're not a TV person on TV with your mother disappearing, which was terrible and horrible. How are you, Max?
I'm good. I actually did just drive in from Des Moines. I was at the film festival.
Boy, are your no, never mind.
Yeah, and it's about a 3-hour drive, so it was a little touch and go. So if I came in a little late. I was hoping. Did you talk about Star Trek Academy by any chance? Did I miss something significant?
It's a hot topic.
No.
Max. Don't
Why
push
would you
him.
think I
Don't
would
push
talk
him
about
over the edge, Max.
Did I? I didn't talk about that. Why? Did you hear something? No, we did not.
You certainly did
You
not
were
talk
at one point about to say something really nice about me, and DIETER interrupted you. And
sorry,
DIETER, I thought we were friends.
Well, aren't we?
Yeah, and of course, Rob, once you get him off a subject, he's never going to come back to the original subject.
Never.
Yeah,
I don't do that.
Never. But yeah, I'm really glad to be here, and we do have we can talk a little bit about the C-Wing later. It is a little sad. There are a couple fatalities involved.
There were, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later.
But Max, tell us about what you did this weekend.
Well, went to a film festival in Des Moines, and a little movie that I wrote but did not direct this. I was involved in the producing, and I wrote it based on a Mickey Spillane, Max Allan Collins novella, and it is called Mickey Spillane's Cap City, and we won Best Scripted Feature. So,
wow!
All right, so that's
congratulations.
Nice. Yeah, and it's always nice to be able to put a laurel wreath on, I hope, the physical media. Incidentally, I talked to, and I don't remember the gentleman's name, but the best feature documentary. You'll enjoy this, because I talked to the guy afterwards. He had done a feature-length documentary on polkas. I believe it's called Song and Dance. Very nice man, very talented man.
Wow.
And in the parking lot, he said, I asked him, well, where can I see this? He said, well, it's on physical media, but nobody has physical media anymore. I said, well, I'm on a show called Let's Get Physical Media every Sunday afternoon, or at least every Sunday afternoon that Rob wants to do the show. And
what are all the shots coming at me today for?
No shot. But what you'll love is the guy, and he was in a suit and I was in a windbreaker. It was the red carpet is me in jeans and a windbreaker and a sweatshirt, and this guy had the suit and the tie, and he just looked right out of the bandbox, as we said 100 years ago in the Midwest, and he said, I have DVDs in my car. In the parking lot, he ran to his car and came back with a sealed copy, beautifully packaged DVD, not a Blu-ray, DVD, but he handed it to me, and I have not yet opened it up, but it's a good feature. It's a really good feature. So I asked him why it's about polkas, and I said, were the Schmengi brothers in it? For those of you that know SCTV, and he said no. Of course, John Kennedy's gone now, which is
it's so sad. But the Schmengi brothers, a good reference there, Max. Well done.
Thank you. So that was a great weekend, and and speaking, and we have kind of a big week coming up, Rob.
We do, Max. Let me mention what's happening this week on Tuesday, February 17th. True Noir, the assassination of Anton Cermak, the 4.5-hour, fully immersive, star-studded audio drama written by Mystery Writers of America Grandmaster Max Allan Collins, is available everywhere, starring great actors like Anthony LaPaglia plays Al Capone because he was cut out of Max's Road to Perdition. So we put him in the audio drama. David Strathairn, the great David Strathairn, plays Frank Nitti. Katie Sackhoff plays Janie. Michael Rosenbaum, our star and MVP, he of Smallville, he of the Inside of You podcast, plays Nathan Heller. Nathan Heller, there are 19 Nathan Heller novels and novellas. And there's been some movement on the movie front of that, but I haven't told Max that. So we'll talk about that later. But yes, it comes out Tuesday. You can get it wherever audio dramas you're ever listening to them. It should be on Audible, Apple, Spotify, everywhere. Or you can go to Amazon right now, and something I never even expected to see, you can buy a 3 CD set of it, which I have to order myself. And I'm going to go buy one. So I'm very excited. Oh, I should mention that it was directed by somebody.
Yes, it was. Dieter, do you know the person who directed? I think you're acquainted with him.
I think I've heard something about him in the past.
It's one of these guys.
But I have to look him up on the IMDb, what he's really done.
It's one of these guys that's so pretentious. Dieter, you won't believe this. He has 3 names.
Oh,
he uses his middle name.
Maybe his middle name, maybe he was named after his grandfather who passed away before he died. And so he uses his middle name to honor his never-known grandfather, Meyer Burnett from Germany.
Well, I use my middle name just to be pretentious.
Well, actually, to be fair, and for those of you who don't know, I directed it, but and edited it, and was one of the producers. But I don't take a producer credit because I'm not that pretentious. But the reason that I use my middle name because professionally is because of after I was credited on Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 as Robert Burnett in the art department, and I was told I don't know if I got a letter. Something happened where I was asked to change my name. Somehow, can you change it? Because there was already a Robert Burnett that produced The Late Show with David Letterman, Worldwide Pants, much more successful than me. So they asked me, so when you get credited, there wasn't any confusion. So I added my middle name to my credits. That's why I am Robert Meyer Burnett.
The director,
the writer, the producer, the bon vivant, the aging man-child, the YouTuber, the college speaker. However you want to say it. The lover.
That's a common thing in Hollywood because of the unions and so on.
Yeah.
James Stewart had the name James Stewart, which meant that what's his name? The great swashbuckling actor, Stuart
Errol
Granger.
Flynn.
Stuart Granger, I'm talking about, whose name was, James Stewart, and he had to use. I think he also used a family name. So 2 famous movie stars would have shared the same name. So that's very common. That happens all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
So
what you're saying is I'm not a total pretentious douchebag.
No, I was.
Oh, no, wait. You can say I am.
I was trying to set you up so that Dieter would introduce you. But
so I fell into your trap, Max.
So I also would like to mention quickly that coincidentally on the very same day the DVD is coming out of my movie Death by Fruitcake. It goes into national distribution and will be available on streaming services, video on demand. So that
is that on the 17th as well?
The same day, February 17th.
So should we declare that a Max Allen Collins holiday?
Yeah, you can take another day off this week. I guess we already have Monday off, so make it a very long weekend. Okay, so it's exciting. And getting back to True Noir, one of the things that we did at the film festival was there was a reading of about a third of a table read of Dying in the Post-War World. And it was a lot. It was very interesting because it was a cold read for everybody, except also since Michael Rosenbaum wasn't available, I was Nathan Heller.
Wow. And
Yeah.
how did that go?
Ooh.
Well, we won't ask my wife. She may be biased. Which direction she's biased in, we don't need to go to. But really, it went very well. And the
direction I would ask your wife, top or bottom?
That's right. Well, I was very pleased because these actors were, very much community theater type people. They're not professional actors. They're enthusiasts, and they're seeing this script cold, and they immediately got into the flow of it and nailed it. And I was thrilled. I think I'll be able to share with you, Rob, a video of that.
Great. Now we should say that this is the script for the True Noir motion picture,
Yes.
Dying in the Post-War World. So this would be very interesting, considering I hope to direct this movie. We shall see.
Yes, and I very much, Rob and I have been on this project together probably 6 months. So don't you think?
Yeah.
And I very much want him to direct it. And I would, I don't want to go into, you don't want to start talking about who you want in the cast because
Sure.
it's premature, way too premature. But anyway.
That's what she said.
Yeah, but very, very exciting.
Anyway, no one's ever said that about us, Max.
Now, there's another weirdly interesting thing. At least I think it's interesting. The movie that we won won the best feature for, Cap City, was shot simultaneously, the same 2-week period that my movie Death by Fruitcake was shot. So I had 2 movies shooting at the same time. Needless to say, that's never happened to me before. So all of this stuff seems to be converging, and a black hole in space will form soon, and I'll disappear into it. But
as long as it's not on Starfleet Academy.
Yes, yeah, yes. I have. The funny thing about that show is there's way more shows.
There's nothing funny about that show.
There must be a half dozen regular shows that it's every week they come in and have watched the show and give you a rundown of the show, so you don't have to watch it and just tear at one new asshole after another. And
I don't even review it. I only review it on other people's shows. I don't even, I can't talk about it. I can't even, I as you can see, I become puerile and immature. Oh, wait a minute. I'm always puerile and immature. So,
well, it's funny because you see the people that are reviewing it every week who have to watch it every week seem to be progressively moving toward nervous breakdowns.
Well, I love Dave Cullen. Dave Cullen is my boy. I love Dave Cullen, and I find his reviews essential.
Well, I suppose we should talk a little bit about the movies that I saw that I want to share. We talked about some Hong Kong stuff recently, and I'm big, as all 3 of us are, John Woo enthusiasts. There's a box from Vinegar Syndrome, box set, called Made in Hong Kong, Volume 2. Very nice box, and I know this is I better be like Dieter here and show you this that's in it. There's an interior box.
Wait a minute, can I just say just right now that Dave Cullen sent me an email 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I don't get many from him. I just mentioned the Dave Cullen show and his reviews. He just sent me an email. Just saying, but I don't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
No, that's fine. This is there's a nice booklet in here. Really, really nice booklet. It goes into some depth about the 3 pictures, and there's a inner sleeve.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an elaborate little piece of work here, and it also has the reversible sleeve. But it does repeat the artwork from the other boxes. Anyway, now the funny thing about this is, I watched this with my son. I frequently, as you know, my son Nathan and I watch a lot of this stuff together and have for years. And we did not initially make it through the first film, which is
Really?
called New York Chinatown, and I can't even remember bailing on a Hong Kong film before, and it really was pretty dire, and I felt like I was going to be in for it. And then I went to the book because I thought, what is it doing in here? It isn't very good. But there's a couple of very important things about this movie. Let me tell you what is lackluster. It's pre the John Woo heroic bloodshed period. So this is very early 80s Hong Kong, where there's this ungainly mix of action that isn't as well staged as we saw later, plus horrible comedy, and just no tone at all. It's not dreadful, but it's not good. Okay, but when I read about it, I realized this is a very rare Hong Kong film that was basically shot on location in New York. So there's a lot of sequences in, like, for example, on the Deuce, that area. You see this stuff. You see Coney Island. You see all kinds of places that they shot. And the significant thing, and now this is for DIETER, it's the first movie of Don the Dragon Wilson.
Ooh.
Which is why they probably put it out.
Yeah, and he's not the central character. In fact, he's like the corrupt cop who is in the pocket of, you got an evil triad and you got a nice triad. That's one of the things about it. It's not exactly innovative, and he's a crooked cop, and he's speaking his own. He seems to be speaking his own lines. I've read somewhere this is the only Hong Kong film he made, and DIETER will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're claiming it's his only Hong Kong.
I wasn't even aware, Max, that he did a Hong Kong movie at all.
And it has, well, he didn't go to Hong Kong because it was shot in the United States.
Yeah.
And so, and there is a sequence. He has one action sequence. And so if you are a Don the Dragon Wilson fan, that certainly redeems the first movie. So, but at the time, my son and I just went on to the next movie, and it turned out to be very good. And the other two movies are quite good in this set. So I can wholeheartedly recommend it.
2 for free.
The second one is called Best of the Best, and it has Jack. I think his name is Jackie Cheung. Am I saying that right? He's very much a Jackie Chan lookalike. Apparently, a big pop star. Do you guys know about this guy?
I've seen him in some Hong Kong movie, but
well, he's very much a Jackie Chan lookalike, and he handles action scenes quite well. But he's not a martial artist, so there's very little martial arts action in Best of the Best. It's a crime movie, and it's about really quite a good movie. It is a kind of corruptish cop who has kids. At the beginning, he takes his 2 sons out, and accidentally, you'll love this, because he gets in a fight with somebody, accidentally kills one of his kids. Which is, kind of turned the other kid against him.
It happens.
Yeah, it could happen. But at any rate, he's kind of a corrupt, genially, if I could speak, cop. And when the movie then jumps, 20 years, and the young son has gone in his father's footsteps, but the right way. He's an honest, tough cop. He's on like a premier, the best of the best forces, like a premier SWAT team. And ashamed of his father, has a kind of a, wary relationship with him, guarded. He hasn't banished his father from his life, but it's not warm. Let's just say that. When your father killed your brother, but I have to say it's quite well acted and quite dramatic, and the central thing in the film is that the good young cop, his girlfriend just happens to be basically the Godfather's daughter, let's say, and the Godfather's trying to turn, you know, in this Yakuza gang. He's trying to go into more legitimate enterprises. He's trying to get out of the crime business, but he gets jailed, and the daughter takes over for him. And behind her back, because
Like in
she's
Shang-Chi.
yes, he behind her father's behind her back, the father's second in command keeps everything going in a negative way down the criminal path, and she's kind of oblivious to it. It's very interesting, the combination of the father and daughter and the father and son thing going on, and it pays off big time. It's got a great ending. You kind of keep waiting for the daughter to get wise to what's going on, and ultimately she does so in a big way. So I highly recommend that one. And the third one, which is called Final Justice. Let me just look at this for a second. If there's somebody that is almost just a drama, although it has a strong crime element. It's about a priest who has terrible guilt over having he's got another godfather, another crime godfather, who also apparently is like a magazine magnate who will do some despicable crime. It begins with him like strangling a guy in the backseat of a car, and then he goes right to the priest to be forgiven.
Wow.
And the priest, he's apparently been doing this for years, and it's driving the priest crazy that he asked, say go out and send 10 Hail Marys, and then go and send them more, but he does send some more, and so that is a thing that goes on through the movie. And then there is a young woman who kind of targets this priest. No one's sending her. She just kind of digs him, and she seduces the priest.
All right.
So, yeah, I mean, some wild stuff goes on in this movie, and it's very thought provoking. You kind of don't know where the movie's coming from till you get right, even toward the end, and even at the end, they're kind of leaving it up to you to like, how are you going to process this? Because he seemed to be a very, very religious guy, and at a certain point, he kind of this criminal, this godfather that he's been giving the blessing to and forgiving every week in confession, he sticks up for the priest and hires a really good attorney for him. So there's just a bunch of things going on that makes your brain go, how am I supposed to process this? So I think this is a really interesting box set for Vinegar Syndrome.
Wow.
And would highly recommend it. There's a couple things I want to talk about super briefly, because they're film noir adjacent. There's a movie called Street Scene. This is from VCI. It's a very important early talkie, shall we say. Good director, King Vidor. And what's interesting about it is the crime doesn't really happen to the end of the movie, but it's heading there the whole time. That's where it's going. And it's from a stage play by Elmer Rice, who was a well-known playwright of his day. And the play version of it was the front of a tenement building with all these windows and people on the steps. And it was people coming in and out, and you get to know all these characters. And on this, it has a cast of, get this, about 50 speaking parts. So it's sort of a day in the life of this tenement. But there's other stuff going on, and it's an early example of somebody who figured out that you can't just point a camera at a play and record it. And it's very cinematic. It's amazingly cinematic for being, for a long time, a single set piece. I mean, it's all on one location. this building, and you never go inside the building. I mean, it's a street scene, like its title says. And then toward the end, it opens up, and it wouldn't have opened up on stage, but the movie becomes extremely cinematic as the crime plays out and the response to the crime. And suddenly you've got it's a huge cast comes in, and you have a real sense of the city. And this is a really, really good early movie. And if you think that they didn't know how to do cinematic stuff in 31, I think it is. It's a good one. And just briefly, here's a Warner archive that will be of interest to some, at least it was to me. Ida Lupino and John Garfield. It's Out of the Fog, and they pitch it on the packaging, and I'm sure it was this way. It was pitched as like a crime drama, and now it's being pitched as a noir. But it is another play, a play by Irwin Shaw, who was a best-selling author, kind of with a little bit of a literary path. He was the rich man, poor man author, and this was a play of his. And they pretty much shoot it on one of those amazing Warner Brothers sets where you've got a dock, and you've got buildings, and you go inside a cafe, and it's all really one huge set. But it's still kind of just one set, and it has a stiffness that frankly that street scene did not have, and it's a little frustrating because Garfield has kind of a secondary part, even though he's over the title build. He's got a very secondary part as like a local hood who's blackmailing a lot of the people and doing really not blackmail, a protection racket. And it's one of those kind of proletariat dramas where it tries to make certain social points. And there's a lot of characters, again, probably 6, 8 major characters, and it's divided between them. So you don't have that central kind of Bogart is at the center of the movie, or Garfield or James Cagney. That's not what this is. So if you know that going in, you should enjoy it. So that's
there you go.
That's what I have for you, gentlemen.
Okay.
Except for the report from the C Wing.
Yeah, I mean, can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, can you tell us what happened? Why was the FBI there?
Well, we had a special Valentine's Day idea, let's say, that we probably should have thought through a little better. It was a midnight archery competition.
Really?
Well, yeah, Cupid,
arrows. I get it. Yeah.
All the targets were the shape of, but we did lose 2 guests. And now we had them sign forms before they got involved.
Releasing us from all liability. Smart.
Right. But I would say here in the central section of the B&B Motel empire, we've gotten some bad publicity.
You know what?
Well,
though? Interestingly enough,
We'll sweep it under the rug mix.
Yeah,
but one of the victims was the mayor's daughter. All right.
Well, at least she wasn't in the Epstein files, so there's that.
No, but she's definitely in the C-Wing files.
Yeah, well, at least the people in the C-Wing files wanted to be there. They all signed waivers. They all knew what they bought their tickets. They knew what they were getting into. I say, let them crash.
It was voluntary. It definitely was. But maybe I shouldn't be trying to do these promotions. A couple of these promotions have really gone south.
It's not your fault. Not everyone's an archer, Max.
No. But some of our guests missed the point, let's say.
Or they got it directly. So there you go. Well, it's great to have you here. This Tuesday is a big day
Rob,
for you and I.
Look up the super chats, but because I think there were some addressed to Max.
Oh, I'm sure there were. but you have to interrupt me promoting free enterprise. I mean, hang on.
Okay.
Rob Michaels says, I want to thank Max again for him signing my Return of the Maltese Falcon, and Rob watching TNG for the first time on Blu-ray and getting a kick out of seeing your name on the special features. Yes. Well, thanks for watching it. I spent 3 years of my life doing those special features. And if I might point out, since you're watching the Blu-rays, season 2, of course, has my roundtable discussion with the cast, but it also has the extended version of Measure of a Man, which we had restored. My idea, by the way, to get it restored, which is incredible. Season 3, all the special features are great, but you also should look into the penultimate episode, The Most Toys. We found, actually, I found, I can take credit for it, or I had CBS look for it for me, and they found it and gave it to me, but I edited it together. A look at the character that you've never seen before, but thanks for that. Dig in. I can't wait to hear what you report back when you're done. Paul Bernardo says, I know Don the Dragon Wilson and worked with him too.
Nice.
Captain J.T. Kirk says, lying in death is more fun than Starfleet Academy. Agent Silver Fox says, Rob, I'm surprised that you passed up on the Boogie Nights Steelbook. The cover is sensational. You know, I thought so too, but I was late to that game, and when it went on sale, it was already sold out everywhere, and I'm like, and I love Boogie Nights. Maybe I'll pick up, if I can find the Steelbook on a deal. I think the cover is sensational. I just didn't I don't collect Steelbooks necessarily. I usually buy the stuff from the UK. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest just kind of came out on the Steelbook, but I do like the Steelbook for Boogie Nights. I think it's great. And maybe one day I'll get it, because I do want it. Stubble McShave says, let me make sure. Stubble McShave says, oh no, this is from last night. No, we're good. We're caught up.
Okay.
We're caught up, Deeds.
Okay. Just a question, Max. The movie that you presented at the film festival, were that one where you finished a script from Mickey?
Yeah, that is, the director's name is David Wexler, and he's done a number of things. And there's a bit of an interesting story there. That was a script that had been developed for about 3 years. We were trying to get it done, and at one point we had, you know how it goes, Rob. We had the funding, and then it was gone. And then, interestingly, the script had been a traditional male spline hero, a detective, a police detective. And then we had an actress who had some name recognition, who liked the script if I would turn the character into a woman. So I did a gender revision on the script, which didn't hurt anything. I think made it better. And then she didn't do it. And then another actress came aboard. Anyway, but after about 3 years, it just wasn't going anywhere. And as you know, Rob, I did a movie for $10,000 called Blue Christmas on one set. And so the director called me and said, I think we've got to move on. And I said, what if I do a version of the script that you can shoot in one location? And so I did another draft where it all takes place at the crime scene. Everything takes place at the crime scene. And it's an all-night investigation at the crime scene. And David did a great job. It's a black and white movie, which is fun for noir. It was probably shot, I think it was maybe $150,000. So just more than I've ever had, but well, not really. I had more back in the day. I had more, but so I'm, it's kind of fun to be able to sit down and watch something that I wrote that I didn't have to do all that. The work that we love to do, but still a different experience to sit down and go like, see what they did with it. And he was very good about, he kept me, well, just like you, Rob, you kept me always kept
The
me
loop.
in the in the studio. Basically, I attended by Zoom every that entire production. I was there, which most directors wouldn't let you do that. They
Well,
didn't
I
want
mean,
to-
look, I felt it. For me, I don't. As Spock said, I have no ego to bruise, and it was your words. And one of the reasons that we stepped up our game to get the cast we got for True Noir was because of the script that you'd written. So, and there were things about the script that, even though I'd read it a million times, that I might not have known or understood. And to me, I can't even imagine ever, if I was directing something, to not have the writer there, to me, would be a waste of a resource. Because, every time we recorded, I asked you at the end of the day, or at the end of if we were done with a scene or a script, Max, is there anything we should go back and get? Is there anything we want to change? And you would frequently chime in and say, well, we should do this and we should do that. And you just make me look better. And ultimately, the finished product is better because you wrote it. So
Well,
I don't think I could ever if we were working together, there would never be a time again, that you wouldn't be around. I would even write that into if I had to pay some of my own salary to make sure that you were there, I would do that. Because why wouldn't you?
Well, this kind of, your response is very gracious, which is why I never, because I have directed myself, I don't want to overstep. So I was always careful to not overstep, and you were always very gracious to me if I did think, well, we should try this or we should do that. And I don't feel like I got in your way.
No.
And it's, and this little movie, David Wexler was great to me, and he didn't lock it until I'd seen a cut where I could complain about or say you should do this or do that. I had 2 little suggestions. He'd made them both. He didn't argue with me. One of them was fairly major, and he just like, fine, and I wish that kind of collaborative attitude were more prevalent in filmmaking.
Well, look, I think that, people that are secure in the idea that what you're trying to make, the finished product, is the most important thing. What you're presenting to an audience is the one thing that you have to make sure is great. And if I didn't write it myself, I'm working on your script, my job is to realize the story that you have told as the writer. And not only did you write the script, but you adapted your own novel. So for me, I get a double whammy in the sense that you wrote a novel, then you adapted your own novel. So there's all kinds of things that you had to do, like you compressed a lot of the stuff that happened in the Marianne's brother and what went on there. And I trusted you, and it works. And the thing is, what's great is, the thing that I'm most proud of in terms of True Noir is I really feel it's the one thing that I've ever done that I don't think needs to be changed, really. I'm so proud of the work everybody did and the script that you gave me, you gifted me. It was one of the great gifts of my entire career. And I know it's only an audio drama, but in terms of how it's paced and how it works, and, as you know, that I mixed it like it was, the whole point was to make it sound like a feature film.
Well,
It'll be interesting. Oh, go ahead.
I had a gentleman at the film festival who came up to me and was asking me, he'd heard about True Noir, and it was just, I was tickled because I said, now it's 4.5 hours. He said, I have a job where I have 6 hours of boredom, and I listen, and I'll listen to it straight through and don't worry about it. And I just thought how cool that was. No, it's one of my very proudest accomplishments. Usually, if your stuff is adapted, it's just taken away from you, and you're not welcome on the set. I was welcome on the Road to Perdition set, and that was because there were some very classy people. Richard and Dean Zanuck, and Sam Mendes was great. So if you know, if they're pros, and you can meet pros on every level, and you can meet jerks on every level.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky to have mostly had very classy people, and everybody involved, and our cast. I'm so proud of that cast.
Oh
and
my
thank
God.
you,
Christine Sheeks, our producer, did such a wonderful job. Boy, and everybody, came to play. And, it was really interesting. Like I was talking about this last night, to have an actress like Katie Sackhoff, she called and she wanted to have a conversation with me about before we recorded. And first of all, she's really, really smart. She's I would hire her if you Longmire. She was incredible in that. I mean, and she just kills it. By the end of her scenes, I was literally tearing up listening to her act. It was, and it was just such a great project, and I'm so happy that the world can hear it. We've only been selling it on our website, and the only people that know about it are people that watch this channel, for the most part. And now the whole world can hear it and will be judged, certainly. But I love the fact that as much shit, to be honest, there's the Con audio drama that was officially produced by CBS and Paramount. And then there's True Noir. So I've never been able to have something. People are all like, well, why don't you go try and make Star Trek? And I'm like, but now I finally have something. And David Mack and Kirsten Beyer wrote the script for the Con miniseries. But now I can say, hey, you can go hear something that modern Star Trek has made about, and which great Star Trek novelists wrote. And then you've got True Noir. So I would say, hey, you tell me. Let the audience decide. Judge me by the work. And or judge us by the work, Max. But it comes out Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday for the world to see or listen to.
That's right. And what I always tell people when they ask me about it is it is a movie for the ears. I mean, it's a movie.
You were right, yeah.
The score, the sound effects, the acting. All you got to do is we provide your own pictures.
All you got to do is listen.
All you have to do is listen. We have 3 hours of original music, and now I can finally move forward because there was some question in terms of the distribution. Our Kickstarter perks, we had to hold off, and we never had a Kickstarter perk of the show available on CD. I now can finish the Blu-ray, the soundtrack, your script book. All those things are going to be now. We can make them because the show has distribution. So everybody can go get it. I can't wait to buy it. I don't know if Skyboat gives free copies, probably not, but I can't wait to order our own work. And again, I got Bartos to come back and do the artwork. I love the packaging. I think it looks terrific. And
so do I.
Right. I know. Right. Oh, Max, you know what? I have something to show that now that I think about it, it's not done yet. But I just remembered this. Hang on a second. Allow me, because you wrote the copy, and you haven't seen this yet. No. So this will be the first time that you've seen this. So if everybody will bear with me just for 1 minute here, I have to go get it, download it, and pull it up. But again, this is not finished. This is just a rough. It's just a rough version. But as many people know, we are doing an event, a 2-night event at the Davenport Museum. Right? At the Putnam. And and that is going to be April 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be Thursday night and Friday night at the Putnam. And we are currently working on things to do, and we're going to showcase one night. We're going to show the Maltese Falcon, and we're then going to have you speak about your book. And then the second night, I get to realize my dream of playing True Noir in an IMAX theater, where we're going to have the first 4 episodes play. which, how cool is that? And that'll be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to do that. But that said, and again, this is a work in progress, but here it is. This is a poster that Mystery at the Putnam, 2 nights of true noir. 2 nights of darkness and dames. And this is a poster that Bartos has been working on for the event. But again, it's a work in progress, but you've never seen it. But there it is. So
I think I know what the cover of our script book should be.
Well, yes, and if you notice, Bartos cannily used the cover of The Return of the Maltese Falcon in addition to the artwork that we've had. So there you go. And
nice mixture.
Yeah, so there you go. But we're still working on that. So there. So
Cool.
if anyone is in the Iowa area, the Quad Cities area, April 2nd and 3rd, come meet us. And by the way, I do want to have. That is at night at the museum, but during the days, both of those days, I want to have like a meetup, a lunch, or better yet, drinks at the bar, where we will meet and talk and hang out. And so that'll be in Davenport, Iowa, in the Quad Cities. So if you live in Illinois, you live in Iowa, you live in any of the surrounding areas, April 2nd and 3rd, Thursday and Friday, put it on your calendars. We're going to have a grand old time.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah. Well, Max, do you have any last words for the people before the FBI come back to question you about what happened?
Never ask somebody my age if he has any last words, Rob.
Oh, shit.
Please. It's been a long weekend.
Well, okay.
Time for some rest.
Max, you've got book deals. You get back to work. Give your wife a kiss for me, and we will see you next week.
Well, I'll be watching the rest of the show. So
all right,
I'll be looking over your shoulder.
Well, Max, goodbye. That was the great Max Allen Collins, ladies and gentlemen, in the C Wing as he is. And then it's back to you, Dietz. Should we show some more discs?
Yes.
What is this show about?
We can do that. But we had one super chat from Major Chacha. She says, Rob, don't forget to give Max my email address. She wants to send Max, I think, the Japanese.
I will do that. I will do that.
Edition.
I will give Max.
Don't forget.
I always forget.
But
I will.
That.
Yes, I will.
The second haul, I start with some Schnäppchens, Rob, that were price reduced. So I put it in a bundle, and I don't know if I think you have shown this, Rob, because it's from Kino Lorber. I've got Jack Black, Nacho Libre. Comes with a reversible cover artwork from Kino Lorber. Really nice. So 4K and Blu-ray in it. So I believe, Rob, you showed this already. If I remember.
Yeah, I did show it.
Correctly. Nacho Libre. Then, unfortunately, not in 4K, but I'm a fan of the movie, and this is a collector's edition from Shout, so I think there are more special features on it as the regular release back in the day. So it was price reduced. Orphan, the first one, was surprised that we got a sequel, I think, 3 or 4 years back. And it actually has a reversible cover artwork. I changed it, but you can use this one too. So from Shout, but it's not 4K, but it came out probably only a 2K master, I would assume, from the time period that Orphan was released. Love that movie. Especially, of course, the ending. Shyamalan! Because his name was attached to it, but actually didn't direct it. I've got Devil.
I like Devil.
Elevator movie.
I like that movie.
From him. So since I'm a little bit later, I don't know if it had an O-ring or not. So Blu-ray and 4K with some new 4K restoration from the Interpositive, it says, and a new audio commentary is featured here too. So as a Schnäppchen, level. Then Max talked a little bit about the Hong Kong stuff that we all dived into, John Woo stuff, the short stuff that they put out. And from the cover artwork, Rob, from this movie, I thought, doesn't look too enticing to me. But I watched the movie this afternoon before I put the lights up. I've got The Big Heat, which is produced by Tsui Hark, and Johnny To is one of the directors. And Rob, I had a blast with the movie, considering the action stuff. I would even say, Rob, this is perhaps even more brutal than Bullet in the Head, considering the action that was in it. You have capitations, bodies ripped in half. I was surprised about the action. The story is a little bit, the usual stuff with drugs coming into Hong Kong, a little bit wonky here and there, considering the mechanics, how it all plays out. But considering the action stuff, Rob, this is pretty ballsy. I was so way better than the cover artwork actually suggests the movie is. So this is a 4K and a Blu-ray. And Rob, in the main roles are actually Mad Dog from Hard Boiled, so the bad guys, and the bad friend from Bullet in the Head are actually the two leads on the police frontier in the big Heat. And it came out, I think, before. Well, then I think this was 1988, it says at the end. So really nice surprise, because I didn't know this movie, and I was thinking, it didn't look too much, too much actiony, but really surprised. And it's brutal, Rob. It's brutal, The Big Heat. And you said it, or was it Max, in that one movie where even I think it was Max when he talked about the movies, a kid dies in, some gunshots. Here too, Rob, in The Big Heat too. just saying, Then we come to Arrow. This one was price reduced. I already have the German Blu-ray, but the German Blu-ray is extra special feature less, so there's no special features on it. From the Addams Family, the real Addams Family, I've got Hellbender from them. I love the family and their movies. And this one from Arrow, of course, has special features. German one did not. And I think Hellbender was the first movie that I saw from them. Didn't know they were a family movie clan.
Yeah.
Who does their movies together, editing, filming, So booklet, and we have reversible cover artwork. Hellbender. And I think Hellbender was the first movie I saw from them. It's not a 4K, just a normal Blu-ray, but probably a 2K master. So, Rob, I only have one left, and it is the big one. So the question is, Rob, have you gotten yours too?
No.
Should we show it together or not?
No. I ordered it from the sale, if it's what I think it is. And
the big one. The big one of the first quarter. I watched it yesterday. Great picture quality. Because Rob, those movies around that time are often have, like Superman, a little bit of that softness to it. But the softness here is not holding the movie picture quality back in any.
By the way, that
shape
softness
or form,
is inherent in the way it was shot. It's not. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the transfer.
I mean that, Rod. But the softness here is not holding the picture quality back, considering how detailed this is.
Yeah, dude.
So it's not really looking.
This movie has never looked good on home video until now.
Yeah. So it looks way better than I was expecting. And considering Excalibur, Rob, I think this is the first time I actually purchased the movie. I don't think did it came out on Blu-ray even before.
It did, and it's not a good Blu-ray.
Okay. So we have the O-ring.
Did you watch any of there's 2 documentaries on there. I can't wait.
Unfortunately,
to watch.
not yet, Rob. I've only seen the theatrical 4K yesterday. That was the only thing I watched. I have not dived into the new documentaries that are on there, but we're shot, I think, back in the day. So we have reversible cover.
Look at that Bob Peak. Those Bob Peak artworks. Oh God, so good.
So we have the 4K, the Blu-ray, and with the extras, and the theatrical version, not the theatrical version, the TV version. TV version, which is shorter. Then we have some art cards in it here. Just show them to you. And they are always...
All that, the Bob Peak artwork.
Right.
Oh, so good. Some of the greatest movie, like that's one of the great, these are the great pieces of movie poster art, man. Bob Peak was the fucking man.
Back, and here we have show himself. So we have those cards. Wait, let me put that aside here. This is the last title that I have. And of course, the poster with the artwork. And as usual, the booklet for X.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the great significant releases. You know, when Arrow put out Conan on 4K, amazing.
Yeah.
And this
my last one.
And again, this is a Warner Brothers title that it's part of the collaboration between Warner and Arrow. They are killing it, and what I think I was
so surprised, Rob, to see the Orion Pictures logo at the front, but I didn't know what company.
Well, they originally
it was Orion with Warner together.
Orion, Orion was the production company, but Warner distributed the film, and so you know they've always had it. But again, you know, George Feltenstein, in his infinite wisdom, he has been working with Arrow to produce these kinds of things, and he will tell you how great they are to work with. Cliff, who was over at Shout Factory, who's now over at Arrow, the collaboration that Warner Brothers has forged with Arrow is going to be quite significant in 2026 and 2027. What Arrow is going to be doing with, I mean, we've already seen examples of it, and I have one to show, but the Warner genre title archive and all the things that Warner Brothers has released all the way back to Forbidden Planet, you know, I mean, think about it. They've got, George is making sure that Shout Factory, the collaboration with Oliver Stone, for instance, on movies like JFK, what Warner Brothers and George has allowed to happen between, it's not just Shout Factory, it's also Vinegar Syndrome, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But so you've got Shout, Vinegar Syndrome, Arrow, and Criterion that are putting out Warner titles, and it's look, the studios, just the economics no longer work with physical media. And so, you know, the fact that you have these boutique labels, look at what Arrow is doing. Their transfers, their box sets, unbelievable. And I'll show another Warner title.
Yeah, I'm finished, Rob. This was
people are going to laugh. People are going to laugh at me, but my favorite Steven Seagal movie, which is also a Warner Brothers title.
I still not have mine, Rob.
Under Siege. So I bought 5 titles at the Arrow sale. 2 of them have come in. I love Under Siege. I love this movie. It has one of the great music cuts to a Jimi Hendrix track and an establishing shot of the battleship. But again, like all Arrow titles do, and especially even this, you have an O-ring. Of course, there is an O-ring, which is if I can get it out of here. Well, I can't now because apparently I can't get the disc out. But because I have this in my. So you've got the O-ring of the title, but then you've got the disc itself. Shit. See, I should have taken this out, but different cover because it's Arrow.
Ooh, okay.
And this is not one of their box sets, and yet they include, because it is a special edition, they don't have to do this, but not only is there there is a booklet. And this is a substantial booklet. You know, it's not square bound, but it's got all kinds of information in it. And they didn't have to do that, but that's what Arrow is doing. And again, really like this movie from the director Andrew Davis of The Fugitive, which is another Warner Brothers title. You know what? I never even asked about The Fugitive because The Fugitive, it came out. But I wouldn't be surprised if Arrow re-released The Fugitive. So Under Siege, title got from them. another Arrow title that, again, was amazing to get. This is a little-known early 80s movie that's all about New York hip-hop. And it came out when hip-hop was still fairly new, Wild Style. This is one of their full-blown special editions. I saw this movie originally at the Seattle Film Festival. Again, you've got your O-ring, and you have got that matte finish that I just love.
Go full frame, Rob. Go full frame.
I'll go full frame because this is cool. Yeah, I'll go full frame. So you've got the great disc art, and then, of course, what you've got in it.
Yeah.
So you've got the disc itself. I haven't even opened this up. I just cracked this morning. So you got the disc itself. Let me see if there's an alternate, and of course there is, because it's Arrow. So there is an alternate cover, as we all know and love, and there's something very gratifying about putting these alternate covers in. So I put that in, and this is great. So here's the alternate cover, but it also it has stickers. It has Wild Style. I guess you can wild post these stickers. So here are the Wild Style. As I'm trying to make this not fall down on my keyboard, the Wild Style stickers for you can do wild posting, all the different colors, of course. And then there is a great booklet. I mean, the Arrow booklets are, again, these are like the matte finish, square bound. This is a very extensive booklet. Probably, I don't know, 100 pages or whatever. But again, if you like your early hip hop, Wild Style is definitely a movie to get. And this is very exciting. I was very happy to get this. And again, I saw this movie for the first time, as I said, at the Seattle Film Festival when I was young, and it really left an impression on me because it was, about the New York hip hop scene. And growing up in Seattle, we had nothing like that. Mix-a-Lot didn't come along till later, so it was great to have this, and it really was a world that was so removed from where I was in Seattle. I love this movie. So for me, it was a movie that it meant a lot to me at the time. So great to have it. Where did the booklet go? Where did it disappear to? So those two Arrow titles, I have The Visitor, Excalibur, and something else, I forget. Now we will jump over to Vinegar Syndrome, and a movie that Max Allan Collins does not like, but Cinematograph, their partner label, by the way, the packaging, Cinematograph's packaging of Paramount titles, awesome. And, of course, this is number 4,336 out of 5,000. My only complaint with Cinematograph titles is they do have, this card.
Yeah.
But
that's what I tell you, Rob. I cut it a little bit on the side and put it in,
And look, like a Folio Society book, you've got the bookmark. This is a cloth bound book. And it's their version of a media book. You've got the discs, but then you also have a booklet, and their booklets are very, very extensive. Cinematograph does a phenomenal job. And what's not to love from Cinematograph? So The Gambler, I've never owned this movie, and now I do. James Caan, great stuff.
Nice.
Happy to have it. Then, one of the greatest time travel movies ever made. Finally in 4K, I've waited for this. Time Crimes. Another great Vinegar Syndrome book, or Vinegar Syndrome release. And again, you have first of all, Vinegar Syndrome puts an O-ring inside a sleeve. So you have the O-ring, and then you have the actual disc itself with their art. Now let's see if they have a reversible cover. And they do. so let's avail ourselves of the reversible cover. Again, this is a movie I got originally on video. I'd heard about it. I knew nothing about it when I watched it. And this
Go in
movie,
blind, people. If you don't know the
this movie blew me away. If you have never seen Time Crimes, it truly is one of the great time travel movies ever made. And watch it. It's great. Let me put this back. Let me put the O-ring back. But I was so happy that they put this out. Again, we're into 2026. I think one of the releases of the year. Then, of course, Vinegar Syndrome also releases great porn. Softcore porn, hardcore porn. And they also release respectable porn. And I love Japanese porn. The films of Hisayasu Sato Volume 1. And they're going to put 3 of these out. I know nothing about this at all, except the movies are...
I only remember you had it on the news section.
Yeah, I had on the news section. Rewind, Lust Moored, and Love Letter in the Sand. Haven't watched these. Don't know anything about them. But again, they're doing 3 volumes, so they have to be worth getting, right? Maybe he's the Radley Metzger of Japan. I don't know. Again, a great box set, a great booklet. Let me look in this booklet and find out. Oh yeah, this isn't objectionable. Shinjuku Madness through the lens of Hisayasu Sato. So again, I could find out. I know nothing about this filmmaker. That's why these books are good. So
Get in the
that
back.
also total cat in the bag. Happy to have it. And then finally, we get to an example of we already saw Warner Brothers and Under Siege from Arrow. We come to, in my mind, when I was 5 years old, or maybe a little older, my mom used to get the greatest babysitters ever. She just found these hot, and I had friends of mine calling asking if we had a babysitter for the weekend. Are your parents going out at night? The babysitters my mom found to babysit me were always hot as fuck. It was amazing. But there was one knowledgeable girl. I don't know what happened to her. Her name was Debbie Black. And for whatever reason, she knew this had aired once already because she'd seen it. She said, "You're going to stay up past your bedtime and you are going to watch Don't Be Afraid of the Dark" with Kim Darby. And Kim Darby was in the Star Trek episode Miri from the first season. And of course, Guillermo del Toro produced the remake of this. I tried to get the rights when I worked at Warner Brothers in 89 and 90. I was a young whippersnapper, 22 years old. I tracked down the agent for the writer of this movie, who also created the TV series Family, and with Christy McNichol. And I tried to get the rights to remake this movie. I obviously didn't get them. However, Morgan and Wong, who worked on the X-Files and created Space Above and Beyond, they had the rights. Guillermo del Toro eventually remade this movie, but I was the very first person that put this movie on the radar of CAA. I'm just saying. So this is the Vinegar Syndrome disc. Now, if I can actually get it out of here.
Yeah.
Can I get it out of here? It's stuck. I don't know why. Is it coming out? It's not coming out. I can't get this out. I won't. I'll figure it out later. It slides out from the bottom. But now, here's
it can be tricky.
Well, I did open it before, and I did put it on because there's some controversy about this transfer. And there is a dinner party scene at the end of this movie. Mid-Level Media has talked about it, and on his channel. There's a problem with this transfer. And I don't know, it has to do with the HDR, and there is a scene, you can see it. If you watch the movie, you get to and George Feltenstein told me that when they remastered it, this was originally a Warner Archive title. When they remastered it, they did the remastering in 4K, but George even said to me, he goes, "Rob, it's a TV movie. It's a TV," and it is. I don't know why I can't get it's all stuck in there. Maybe it's a vacuum seal. I don't know. But there is a problem with this transfer that I think they should fix.
Okay.
I do think that doesn't matter, though, because this movie is one of the... I still have the Warner Archive disc anyway, but this is the 4K version. I love this movie. If you've never seen it, you're going to laugh at it now. But let me tell you, when Debbie Black let me stay up late to watch this, this was the scariest thing I'd ever seen. And when I talked to the writer of it back in 90 or whatever that was, I called and got in touch with him. I said to him, I go, I want to get the rights because it's the scariest thing I'd ever seen. And he goes, yeah, but when was the last time you watched it? And I said, well, you can't get it. And I went to a store called Eddie Brandt's Saturday Matinee. I don't know if it's still around here in LA, which had everything. And they had a videotape because there was a VHS tape released of this. And it was a TV movie. You know, and again, Warner Archive, George has made a deal with Vinegar Syndrome to release a lot of these movies because they put out some of my favorite, like Bad Ronald, The Stranger Within, what's another one? A Cruise into Terror, but that's on Warner Brothers. But I love these. There was some great banger genre TV movies, and Vinegar Syndrome is going to put more of them out. But I just think that somebody flipped a switch when they were doing the transfer, and I think it's worth revisiting because it's really distracting. It is the big climax of the movie, not the total, but it's there's something wrong with the transfer.
Okay. And
I don't know. They need to go back and fix it, but it is a TV movie, like George said. Oh, the Bermuda Depths. George, they did 2 versions of the Bermuda Depths, and they did 4K restorations. I would love to get the Bermuda Depths in 4K. So Vinegar Syndrome, you did me right here. Take a look at the transfer, but it's so great to have this movie. I love it so much.
So the movie is 4:3 since it's a TV movie. It's 4:3.
It is 4 yes. Okay. But the Bermuda Depths was a TV movie, but it was shot also for theatrical.
That's why I'm asking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4:3. But that's okay. You know. So
no problem with that.
That's the way it is. I don't know why I can't get this out. Why am I having such a problem? But there you go.
Okay. So
do you want to flip? Why don't you do the live chat and I'll do the news after the live chat?
Okay.
How about that?
Let me just put it up there. Where do I have it, Rob? Where do I have my folder? My YouTube screenshot folder. There it is. There it is. Not too many, but let's start with this one. Previously on Let's Get Physical Media. We start with Danzig, 1979. Rob Thrones Rings. It's Alex Kurtzman. I can help you. I can help with your subscription problem, Rob. All you have to do is shoot for Starfleet Academy. And Rob replies, never!
Fuck off.
Aries. Bye, Dieter. Bye. Such a disappointment for me, and I love both Tron movies. Yeah, and I like Tron Aries too. Unfortunately, haven't seen the disc yet. Looking forward to it. Pooch 44. I don't know why, but I always forget how what a talented actor Channing Tatum is. He connects emotionally with the audience so well. Totally agree, considering Roofman. Adventure Square says, yeah, so Reflection in a Dead Diamond at the festival last year, and it's very stylish, but could have been a bit better. Still very watchworthy for any old-time spy film fans. And I showed the shiny cover here. Reflection in a Dead Diamond. Totally style over substance here. Then we go on to Brian Stedler. Wait, let me make it a little bit more brightness here. So we go to Brian Stedler, and he says, was caught up doing something, as I was saying, Star Trek Starfleet Academy is not the worst thing I've seen, but far from the best, just okay. Well, Rob would beg to differ. And Rob 2 weeks ago showed that he got the Falling Sky set, a series that he doesn't know. And Paul and Bernardo says Falling Skies was a pretty good sci-fi show. And Walter Whitewalker says Falling Sky was a good series, basically The Walking Dead with aliens. Okay. Drew Gordon, A Better Tomorrow 2 was the first John Woo, I saw as part of a Hong Kong triple bill at an art cinema in 1993. Unforgettable fun. Nice. H.V. Christodot, Righting Wrongs, the Rossrock movie that Max showed last week, is great, but I have a soft spot for Undefeatable. Yes, H.V. Christodot, I too, because it's the epitome of so bad, it's fucking awesome. Undefeatable is awesome in its badness. Major Chai Chai, having read The Maltese Falcon, just prior to Mac's novel, was a seamless continuation of the story. Stubble McShave, I read it 5 years ago, but picked it up again before this one, before the return of The Maltese Falcon, for a refresh. Drew Gordon, Naked Killer Rules. If you're thinking about the Hong Kong movie, yeah, Naked Killer Rules. I still hope we'll get one fine Blu-ray at some point. Drew Gordon, Laugh Out Loud. A few weeks ago, Max was saying A Better Tomorrow 2 was his masterpiece. Yeah, and then changed it to A Bullet in the Head. You know, that's how Max flies. Sometimes this, sometimes that. And here comes the kicker. Considering the theatrical version, but keep this between us, Drew and myself, A Better Tomorrow 2 is not really that good, considering the theatrical version. And I know Max says the work print is way better. Yeah. But then you sit between a rock and a hard place. You have the nice quality of the 4K theatrical version, and then you have the, more VHS quality with the better version of the movie. You sit between a rock and a hard place when it comes to A Better Tomorrow 2. H.G. Christodot, it's so hard to rank John Woo. My top 5 are Hard-Boiled, Bullet in the Head, The Killer, Face Off, and Radcliffe. Radcliffe is more his modern last one. Drew Gordon, it's funny in Sammo Hung's Eastern Condors, where they redo the Deer Hunter Russian roulette scene, but with child soldiers, decades ahead of Tropic Thunder. And H.V. Christodot, Eastern Condors is awesome. Yes, Eastern Condors is awesome. Andrew Gordon says, Critical Drinker once got a super chat about John Woo's Bullet in the Head, and he thought it was a Stallone movie. I clipped it. He was obviously thinking of Walter Hill's Bullet to the Head. Silly. Yeah. Bullet in the Head should always be referring to the John Woo one. You by now says, Return of the Maltese Falcon picks up right after the movie ends, well within a 2-week time period. Adventure Square, considering True Noir, the audio drama, the entire audio drama is so compelling to listen, very breezy.
Thank you.
Danzig, 1979, maybe a cameo from our favorite Sherman in the follow-up to True Noir. Not gonna happen, Danzig.
That's not true.
Let me paint you let me paint you a picture. You would be totally in to listening to the follow-up to True Noir, enjoying the voice, and then you would go, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? Would totally take you out of it, Jason Webster. Rob showed it last week. I showed it a little bit earlier. The Perfect Blue animated movie, the anime set. Jason Webster, Perfect Blue is one of the all-time great anime films.
It really is.
Richard Curtis, Rob had in the news section, coming from Arrow, Paul W.S. Anderson's Soldier movie. Richard Curtis, never seen Soldier. Is it good? When you know Paul W.S. Anderson movies, you should know what to expect. You by now says Soldier is a solid sci-fi action movie. Adventure Square, Soldier is okay. Great film if you're a Russell fan. And Alpital says Soldier, yeah, it's a Blade Runner movie. Have an older German Blu-ray media book. Love the movie. But know what you're in for, considering Soldier. Adventure Square, I need to rent a separate apartment for all my discs. You and me, both. But Todd Jones gives him a little tip. You could use DIETER's space saving solution and get rid of all those cases. And Adventure Square answered, I already started. Good for you. H.V. Christodot, considering Rob had it in the news section of movie with Klaus Kinski. And H.V. Christodot says, Klaus Kinski barely needs to act as a maniac. That's why I call him Crazy Klaus. Adventure Square, Stone Cold will get a 4K. Stone Cold is a joyous surprise for any action fan.
Yep.
And Grid Nature says they shoot his money too. Is hilarious. And Rob, I couldn't help myself after you brought in the news section up the Eureka set with those old German westerns. I pre-ordered it because it's totally nostalgia for me. Coffee and cake movies, and like I told you, some of those movies are the blueprint for that famous comedy here, or one of the most successful comedies here in Germany. Deadpool Red Suit, good evening. Rob was live only hours ago on Midnight Metal. I've got a deja vu. How does he do it? Well, with the help of AI, of course. Who knows if Rob
It's true.
is really...
It's all
Yeah.
AI. That's what I do. No, you know what I use? I use my hatred of modern Star Trek to fuel my life. I turn my hatred into something that it keeps me going. It makes me move forward. That it's I let the hatred flow through you.
Flow through you, yes.
But I use it for good.
Castle Grayskull asks in 2 weeks ago if I would love whales in space and sharks in space, and I didn't know that there were actually a shark in space movie. Alpenthal brought it up in the live chat, and I thought he was trolling, but actually no. He says, Alpenthal, yeah, it's called Sharkside of the Moon in Germany. No joke. Oh, okay. Todd Jones says, it wouldn't be anything Dieter said. He's beloved by all. Perhaps not, but I've taken it. Secular Monk can be a strong opinion. Some I agree with, others don't. Others I don't. His physical media has always bothered me. Secular Monk says the thing that Max manages is very comfortable. Okay. And Castle Grayskull is always a little bit frustrated because she says, no trivia on Starfleet Academy. No trivia on Star Trek. Since Max is on, the show is already gotten a little bit longer, so I refrain from asking Rob Star Trek trivia question. Rob was the live chat readout from 2 weeks ago.
Well, okay, that's good. Good. We've got the news section. First of all, we're going to start off the news section. Criterion coming out with their April releases. First of all, the great Lawrence, one of my favorite modern noir films, Lawrence Kasdan, who co-wrote The Empire Strikes Back and Raiders of the Lost Ark. His debut feature, Body Heat, coming out from Criterion in 4K. First of all, I love this cover. Kathleen Turner and William Hurt in this movie, when she says, "You're not very smart. I like that in a man." It's one of the great lines of all time. So Criterion is putting this out in 4K. They're also putting out Kurosawa's Stray Dog, as Bill Hunt would tell you. Any Kurosawa in 4K is good Kurosawa. Happy to get this. Really, again, look at these covers. They're killing it this month with the covers. Bob Fosse, one of my favorite directors who made All That Jazz, one of my favorite movies. All That Jazz details the making of this movie. Lenny, Dustin Hoffman playing the great Lenny Bruce, who was a character in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, but he was a real guy. Getting this in 4K. Again, a terrific cover about Lenny Bruce, the stand-up. Now we get into some things that I don't know. Fresh Kill. I don't know much about this movie, Fresh Kill, but hey, they're putting out. Looks good.
It's more like a newer movie. No, that's not.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what's great about not knowing anything? You've got this newfangled contraption called the internet, which I can. Pardon me. These are not their April releases. These are their May releases. And by the way, Body Heat is a Dolby Vision transfer. Stray Dog is a 4K restoration. I guess it's only on Blu-ray. Lenny is in 4K, however, and that is Dolby Vision. Fresh Kill is a disturbingly...
That says 1994 is Fresh Kill on the cover.
Yeah, well, this sounds... Dude, I'm in. Listen to this. Fresh Kill is a disturbingly prescient ecofeminist parable and a brainwave scrambling cyberpunk fantasia. The debut feature from new media pioneer Shu Lia Chang, merges a bold vision of resistance with an exuberant early internet aesthetic. In a dystopian chic New York where sushi joints and toxic waste sites exist side by side, a lesbian couple turn to the hacker underground to solve their daughter's disappearance, in the process exposing a conspiracy involving corporate greenwashing and tainted fish. Swinging between outre satire and agitprop, Fresh Kill sounds the alarm about a capitalist system that pollutes everything from our waterways to our bodies to our minds. And it stars lesbians. The characters I'm in, 100%. Yay, us. And continuing with the queer theme of this month's releases, we go to Ira Sachs. Oh, no, this is Joaquin Tears. No, I was going to say it's Ira Sachs's, but I didn't put it that way. Joaquin Tears. This is not part of the theme.
Controversial cover art here, I would say, Rob, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Sentimental value.
Because if I wouldn't know the movie, Rob, I would expect actually an animated movie. I have to say.
It's true, but Joaquin Tear did this. This is he's one of, according to Criterion, one of contemporary cinema's great humanists, and so this is a moving story of one family's attempt to come to terms with generations of trauma and healing, which is like every episode of Star Trek, Starfleet Academy. So there you go. Now we go back. You love this movie? Look, this film obviously is in contention for the Oscars this year,
Best Picture.
And it's a terrific film. So it's good to have this. But now I think
Stellan has good chance for a supporting actor.
He's amazing.
Has earned it.
Amazing. So, but what I meant is, here we go to Ira Sachs in terms of queer cinema. This is The Delta. The complexities of race, class, and sexuality collide within a Memphis community in the strikingly raw debut feature from director Ira Sachs. With neo-realist immediacy, The Delta tells what at first appears to be a simple love story. Two young men, a closeted white teenager, and Min, a black Vietnamese immigrant, meet at a cruising spot and embark on a nighttime journey by boat down the Mississippi River. That's interesting. So don't know much about that film, but I'd watch that. Maybe I'll pick that up. And then Ira Sachs' second film that is being released. And Peter is at Huyar's Day, a loving snapshot of a vanished New York. Director Ira Sachs' captivating cultural time capsule is a warm, witty, graceful recreation of a real-life conversation that took place between photographer Peter Huyar, by Ben Whishaw, and writer Linda Rosencrantz, played by Rebecca Hall, in 1974. And this eavesdrops on the two friends' leisurely, affectionate hangout as Huyar recounts his previous day's activities, offering insights into both his art and everyday life. So there you go. It's my dinner with Andre.
Rob, is that Ben Whishaw who did later go in directing movies like Kill List? Am I wrong?
No, that's not Ben Whishaw. Ben Whishaw played Q in the Bond films. You're thinking about Ben.
Yeah. Sorry, what's wrong, Rob? What's wrong?
Yeah, which, by the way, I did get around. I did place an order with whatchamacallit? Severin. I don't know when they're going to send it to me, but I did. Then Warner Archive, some banger releases coming out. We've got Ann Sheridan, It All Came True. Look at this cover. What a great cover. Yes, it did, Ann, and I can see why. Then we've got Clark Gable and Lana Turner in Honky Tonk. I mean, I always thought that was like, something we made up recently, but hey, back in the day, they knew what that meant too. Then we have Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire, The Gay Divorcee. What a great movie. I've actually seen this movie. Classic. It doesn't get much more classic than this. Different kind of gay. And then you've got Tea and Sympathy. And look, this cover is problematic, but it's a coffee and cake movie, I'm sure, because it's called Tea and Sympathy, with Deborah and John Kerr. Don't know much about it, but I will. I think I live my life this way, with Tea and Sympathy. So, hey, what's not to love? Then we have The Man Who Came to Dinner. It's a Betty Davis movie. Early Betty Davis. Come on, who doesn't want to see that? I can't wait. I'll watch that. And then back to their animation that's killing it. Scooby's All-Star Laugh Olympics. Just in not time for the Winter Olympics, but maybe in time for the Summer Olympics in LA in 2028. And then we have Looney Tunes Collector's Vault Volume 2. By the way, these are essential. Everybody needs to own these, and I don't mean that in any ironic way. They do. They are great.
I think you showed, didn't you show Volume 1 2
Yep.
weeks ago, Rob?
Yep, I have it.
Okay.
Volume 1 a few weeks ago, totally. So that's coming out. Then we pivot. We go to, I love this movie, Roger Moore, The Man Who Haunted Himself, coming out from Studio Canal. Interesting film.
Yeah.
I want to say I had the Anchor Bay, or I still have the Anchor Bay DVD, but like this movie a lot. It's really weird. It's really interesting.
That would be a nice upgrade, Rob, from a DVD.
Yeah, totally a great upgrade in 4K. The Man Who Haunted Himself.
Yeah.
Then we have, I don't know much about this film, but hey, Angelique. You got to love Angelique. There was a woman named Angelique Pettyjohn who played Shauna the Drill Thrall in The Gamesters of Triskelion, but that has nothing to do with this movie. Kino Lorber is putting this out, and this is from 1964. It's the Angelique Collection, and this release, which will include 5 films, is coming out this summer. Angelique, The Road to Versailles, Angelique and the King, Untamable Angelique, and Angelique and the Sultan. Based on the best-selling French novels by Anne and Serge Golan that captured the hearts worldwide, the Angelique films chronicles the life of an adventurous heroine in the Louis XIV era. 5 classic films, and the beautiful Mercier, or what's her name, Michelle Mercier, and the dashing Robert Hossein as her husband and true love. A swashbuckling blend of action, intrigue, and passion. The Angelique films seamlessly capture the amazing life of a French country girl whose quest for love and happiness leads her from the gutters of Paris to the palace of Versailles. Hey, I'm in. Count me in. I'll watch. Bring it on. Then we have this, which is The Young Doctors. Now, The Young Doctors is coming to us from MGM is putting this out. Now, does that mean Warner Brothers or is it really MGM? Don't know. This is from 1961. I know nothing about The Young Doctors except they're young. And then we have, of course, Queen of the Ring.
Awesome. I still need to watch the digital release, Rob. I bought the movie, but I haven't gotten around
Of Queen of the Ring?
to seeing it. It's nice that Kino Lorber is putting that out. Awesome.
Kino Lorber is putting this out. God bless Kino Lorber. Totally interested. Now, this is really interesting. Carlotta Films is putting out restorations of Seijun Suzuki's classic films, which I thought were the purview of Criterion, but we're getting Youth of the Beast. We're getting Branded to Kill. They're even using, and then Radiance's cover for Tattooed Life. And then we got the story of a prostitute and one more. Just the story of the prostitute is the last one. Now, these are like Criterion Radiance titles. The recent 4K restoration of Branded to Kill is already out on 4K Blu-ray from Criterion, but French label Carlotta Films has provided a promotional video for an upcoming Seijun Suzuki retrospective, which will introduce multiple new and recent restorations of those films. Not just the ones I showed, but also The Flowers and the Angry Waves, Story of a Prostitute, Carmen from Kawachi, and Fighting Elegy. So they're putting out a lot, and they have a trailer for that, which you can go see on YouTube. So those are all pretty cool. So I know they're doing the restorations, but does that mean they're going to come out from Criterion domestically? Do not know. Then now we have Citizen Smith, the complete series. Fabulous Films in Britain is putting this out, and Citizen Smith ran from 1977 to 1980 in England. Citizen Smith was John Sullivan's breakthrough sitcom before Only Fools and Horses, starring Robert Lindsay as Wolfie Smith, the scruffy Che Guevara of South London. So there you go. If you know what that is, Power to the People, Citizen Smith coming out. So that's cool. One Last Deal is coming out with Danny Dreyer. I don't know, again, anything about this movie. Have not seen it. But Vertigo releasing in the UK is putting this out. And this is from this year, One Last Detail. And it's coming out on May 11th.
18 certificate, Rob. These days,
I know, right?
You gotta put the pedal to the metal to get an 18.
Well, let's see. Jimmy Banks is an old school agent who desperately needs to get his star player one last big payday before Jimmy's life and his client's reputation come tumbling down. So maybe it's 18 for sex. Have no idea. Drug use. There you go. Don't know anything about it, but hey, it's coming. Then we have coming from Kino Lorber in 4K.
Because Rob, Mark Herbert is always perplexed when a movie gets only a 15. You don't know how good your kids has gotten it today.
Kino Lorber is putting out, this is a great movie, Throw Mama from the Train, Danny DeVito and Billy Crystal. Love this film. Kino Lorber is putting out in 4K. What is not to love? Everything is to love with this. Thank you, Kino Lorber, once again for putting this out. Yeah. There's a new Hammer box set coming, DIETER. And it is coming from Powerhouse Indicator, Hammer Volume 7, Ships and Giggles. I mean, they put out great Hammer box sets. And Ships and Giggles, it's a 4-disc box set, and it comes out on May 18th. There's a excerpt from The Ugly Duckling. You can see it online. You have The Ugly Duckling, Weekend with Lulu, Don't Panic, Chaps, and Watch It, Sailor. A lot of special features and technical specs to look at, but I'm not going to list them here. Go to Blu-ray.com, where I steal all this information from, and find out for yourself. Then, of course, we have, check this out, The Da Vinci Code, or as I like to say it, the greatest bad novel I ever read. I love this book. I read it in this was a one-sitting book for me. It's not great, but it's coming out. It's the 20th anniversary of Ron Howard's The Da Vinci Code with a brand new 4K Steelbook edition. It comes out May 19th. Exciting.
With both versions, separate to two 4Ks.
So there you go.
The theatrical version on one and the extended on the other.
And if you were ever wondering about the parentage of Jesus Christ, this movie will tell you all about it. Ilsa, the Wicked Warden.
There you go.
Kino Lorber putting out the third Ilsa movie in 4K. Look at that cover. Diane Thorne in her third of 4 Ilsa movies. Castrating, rocking, whatever.
Gotta add it to the collection.
You gotta add it to the collection. You can't not have the Ilsa movies. I mean, who are you? Who are you if you don't love Ilsa? Now, this is pretty cool. If you're a Greg Araki fan, of which I am, a new version of, I would arguably say, his best movie, Mysterious Skin, which, by the way, has an incredible soundtrack. This is coming out from Strand Releasing. It's a 4K restoration of his film from 2004. Co-starring the director of The Brutalist, Brady Corbett. And so his character went missing for 5 hours when he was 8 years old, an event that he remains convinced was the result of alien abduction. But anyway, this is a terrific movie. I'm a huge Greg Araki fan. If you haven't done it, get the Teen Apocalypse trilogy that Criterion put out because it's lots of fun. Yes. Now we're going to go over to another favorite British label, Radiance Films, with their Obies and their May releases. First of all, we have Le Professionnel, Jean-Paul Belmondo. Oh, God, I love Radiance, man. I should just buy everything. I have a pre-order, a big Radiance pre-order that they're one of those labels that when they get all the things they're going to send you, they send you one box. But Daughters of Darkness I got coming from them. But the Stuntman in 4K. Ooh, one of the highlights of the year. But anyway, the Le Professionnel, I don't know anything about that movie, but Aesthetics of a Bullet. Aesthetics of a Bullet. There you go. They put out some killer Asian movies. Radiance I feel like you should buy everything. And they also did a banger version of Planet of the Vampires, even though it wasn't in 4K, but it's still awesome. Then this movie, Jean La Puerile, I don't know, but hey, I don't know anything about this.
Pucelle.
Anything that starts with anything, I'm in. Like to get in quick and stay there for a while. Then we've got Brian De Palma's Hi Mom with Robert De Niro, which is great to have this on this format. And then, of course, Taxidermia, a movie that it has an 18 certificate, and God bless them for putting Taxidermia out. In Hungary during World War II, Vendel, I can't even pronounce that last name, indulges his outlandish sexual fantasies while stationed at an isolated military outpost. Decades later, his illegitimate child has become a professional speed eater who dreams of consuming his way to fame and fortune. Instead, he grows old and immobile, cared for by his son, a taxidermist determined to leave behind a great work of art when he dies. Written and directed by perhaps Hungary's greatest working filmmaker, Taxidermia blends body horror, black comedy, and astonishing aesthetic beauty to paint a fascinating portrait of Hungary from the 1940s to the 21st century. Special features and technical specs, a lot of stuff in there. I have never seen this movie. I've only heard about it, always wanted to see it. Why, yes, I will, in fact, be picking it up. Then, of course, if you didn't get Hard Boiled from Shout and you didn't get it from Arrow, you can now get it Down Under, because that's the way the cookie crumbles. Imprint is putting out part of their Asian catalog, Hard Boiled, and wait for it, The Killer, in a box set. So if you want to get them, you can. I don't love this cover for The Killer, but hey, they probably had to make it look different. I understand. And they're also putting out The Touch. So there you go, Deets. Let's look at the charts for the week. The charts are Wicked for Good, number one. These are all HD formats.
Yeah.
One Battle After Another, Wicked, the 2-film collection, Tron Ares, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, Doctor Who, the Tom Baker years, Sinners, Snakes on a Plane. What is that? Roofman and Dogma from Lionsgate Limited. There you go. And then we have the 4K discs, Wicked for Good, One Battle After Another, Tron Ares, Snakes on a Plane, Roofman, Dogma, End of Watch came out in 4K. I love End of Watch. I don't know how.
Probably Schnäppchen, Rob.
Wicked, Wicked, the 2-film collection, Dante's Peak, which has problems, and Springsteen, Deliver Me From Evil. So that's the charts, and that is all the news that's fit to print, Deets.
Just quick, Rob, can you show the Queen of the Ring cover again?
Oh,
because I want to ask you.
Hold on, let me find the Queen of the Ring cover. Here it is. It's right there.
Do you know who that is, Rob? On the cover.
It looks like a girl I follow on Instagram.
Have you seen Arrow, the DC TV show? A little bit.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh my God.
That is the blonde computer girl.
Yep.
Emily Ricketts. What a transformation, Rob.
What a transformation. Good for her.
Just a quick trivia here.
Wow. Well, Deets, there's our show.
I wanted to dive a little bit into what I've seen digitally, Rob. There's some stuff, some shows, some movies. Do we have some super chats left, Rob?
We do. Well, look, hey, let's delve into this. First of all, we have a tip. From Robert Giacinta. I was at my local thrift store and I stumbled across a novelization of Waterworld. Take a wild guess who wrote it. Well, I don't have to, because mine's right here.
Max.
And wait, let me just look. Oh, is it signed by the author? While It is.
Show
Look at
off.
that.
Show off.
You know what? I know people. What can I say? And by the way,
Yeah.
I hope he bought it. Remember Max Allan Collins' new book, The Return of the Maltese Falcon, in hardcover. Go to your Barnes and Noble and order it. Get it. Tell them, and if they don't have it, complain. You've got yours, right?
Actually, didn't had to purchase it, Rob.
Yeah, you didn't. I didn't have to purchase it either. And ours are both signed.
Yeah.
Well, we had to build that motherfucker an entire wing of our motel to get him to come here. So, geez, at least he can send us books.
Please.
So, yes. So tell us, Dietz, what did you see this week?
What did you see? I hope my internet connection will be stable because I had some dropouts during the news section. Rob, I finally finished the fourth season of Hacks. Totally love the show. I think you've seen it too, Rob. And considering Starfleet Academy, in the first episode, if you remember, Rob, on Hacks, what had Ava to do to get the job for Deborah Vance? She had to go through all the back catalog of her, the shows that she did. She had to go through all the videotapes. She had to do her homeworks. So I totally love Hacks. I think they are doing one season, fifth season, and then the show is done. I've seen The Housemaid, Sydney Sweeney.
What'd you think?
Fanning. Really nice thriller, but considering when he grew up in the 90s, they were the bread and butter, probably, of the 90s. So not perhaps new to us, such a thriller, more for the younger audience. So really nice, but I wasn't too thrilled with the movie, considering the resolution was more like an exposition dump. But it's a nice one. If you didn't grow up in the 90s, those were always there. Then I'm pretty happy, Rob, considering the Academy Awards and the 10 nominated pictures. I'm only missing 2 from the 10 that I have not seen. I have not seen Train Dreams, which is, of course, I can watch on Netflix, and Hamnet, which comes out at the beginning of March on physical media in America. So I will hope we'll get that disc before Academy Awards. So I will actually have seen, Rob, all 10 movies. Because I've seen The Secret Agent. Really nice one. But considering, Rob, we in Germany, New York, try to give the movie title that explains to the audience immediately, a little bit of a synopsis. This title is actually misleading. There is no secret agent in the movie. Wagner Moore is not playing a secret agent. So on that front, you could be a little bit, not so thrilled. But I totally love the movie, especially the production design. I've never seen that many UW Beatles. They were a big stable in Brazil back in the day. And I loved just the casting of the movie. The characters felt real to me, Rob. And I think it's even nominated in the new casting section for it. They all felt real to me, real people. So really nice movie. But you have to be watching the movie, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and there's even stuff that does not really give you anything concerning the main plot, which would not be necessary. But I really had a good time with The Secret Agent. Really, really nice movie, especially with the look. Then I saw The Smashing Machine, one of the Safdie brothers. And like you said, Rob, I can totally see why the movie didn't fly at the box office, because even I could probably wrote a script with that setup. You have someone who gets big in the sport, then has a downfall, has a little bit of a comeback. You've seen it more than once. So on that front, it's just one setup to the next. It's nicely filmed considering the production, but it's not really new. And especially if it is about Mark Kerr, where you already have a documentary about him, doing a so-called live action version for it. Do we really need it? So I can see why this movie did not fly. Rob, you were not the biggest fan of The Plague. Why I'm not either? I would say I have a good time, but I think the movie is a little bit too open-ended for me. And this sounds strange, Rob, but I think the child who plays the bully, Jake.
Oh, incredible.
I think, Rob, he was too good, actually, for me, Rob, considering his playing. It sounds strange, but for me, he played too good. Yeah, I think some psychopaths can take some inspiration from him. I think he played actually too good. And considering always our verisimilitude, Rob, perhaps you, Rob, but when I was 12 or 13, I didn't drink vodka. So for me, the verisimilitude,
no, I didn't either.
Shaky, a little bit shaky on The Plague. And I'm not the biggest fan of the ending, a little bit open-ended. What I would have done, Rob, just from my perspective, considering the rash, if people don't know what The Plague is about, it's about a children's camp, about water, playing water, a ball in it. And of course, you have some kid that is a little bit ostracized to the side because he has gotten a rash. And we have our main protagonist comes new into the school, wants to fit in, and then he gets that rash too. What I would have done, Rob, try to explain it a little bit. Perhaps the chlorine is a little bit too high in the pool. Every one of us has different skin. And if you are 24/7 almost in the pool, I would have explained it somehow, where the rash actually came from. So for me, it was a little bit too open-ended, but it's nicely shot. Nice sound design. So really good, but the hype was a little bit bigger for me than the movie turned out. A movie that totally could stand up to his hype, and I wasn't actually not too big considering when I read the synopsis. I watched finally on Thursday, Rob, Marty Supreme. I loved it. Rob. The movie has a total great drive, always propulsion forward considering the plot. And I don't get it, Rob, when people say, oh, I don't like the main character. You don't need to like it. The story has to be great. And for me, a person who has that kind of a drive to achieve his goal, I thought it was awesome, Rob, considering how it was shot. And Timothy really deserved the Academy Award for Madison. Totally, I don't think there's any discussion about that. And what I totally forgot, Rob, at first when I read the synopsis, a movie about someone playing ping pong. Okay. But what I forgot, Rob, considering doing sports, we all, at some point, not as a professional, but we all played some sort of ping pong. Everyone knows the sport. It's easy to understand. So I totally could get into those scenes where the sport is depicted. I thought Marty Supreme was awesome, and I don't get that criticism. I don't like this character. For me, that's not a hindrance. And then the great Abel Ferrara, as the New York gangster, was awesome in it. And once again, the casting of all those people who are totally feel like they are real people here, insanely great. I totally was blown away. Was not expecting that. Then one of your double bills, Rob, I caught up too. Primate
and
really nice one. Not extremely thrilled with the movie because you always have to deal with some situations where the character do something where I think, okay, that's not really fitting. But it was, strangely enough, considering the kills, always
come
important.
on, the kills are great from the very beginning.
Yeah, the kills are great, Rob, but it's always like the monkey, the chimpanzee, has an MO, a modus operandi, how he kills people, so it's a little bit rinse and repeat considering the kills. But Really nice one. Then Darren Bousman has a new movie called Twisted out. Unfortunately, not the biggest hit. It features Lauren Rivera, our final girl from the Terrifier movies. It's a little bit of mix, a little bit Saw-like, a little bit on the low budget side, but not a big recommendation for me. It's in the fine category. Then a series that I unfortunately cannot recommend. Really was looking forward to The Burbs on Peacock. Considering the idea, I thought, okay, if you do The Burbs as a TV series, a little bit murder mystery, is at the moment always there with only murders in the building. But for me, the biggest sin of the series, it's not a funny series. It didn't laugh once.
No, I know.
It's more like desperate housewives, old housewives. For me, unfortunately, not good. The Burbs was a little bit of a disappointment for me, because considering the movie for me is a cult movie, I thought, yeah, the idea is good. You could do something with it, but for me, unfortunately, not too thrilling, considering the Burbs. So this was what I've seen digitally. So I only missing, Rob, 2 movies from the 10 Academy Awards. So I'm really proud of myself that I actually have almost seen every movie that's been nominated for an Academy Award.
Well, that's
Probably
exciting.
Never happened before. So Train Dreams I can watch on Netflix, and I hopefully get Hamnet before the Oscars will commence. So they have seen
I did
all.
an interview for Designing Hollywood with both the costume designer and the production designer for Hamnet yesterday. That'll drop probably next week. It was really good. They're great. It was great. Great to have them both on the show.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I guess that brings us. Look, I've actually got orders coming from Arrow, from Radiance, from Severin. I don't know when I'll get them. But
I'm waiting on a specific Japanese title, Rob. I was hoping I would get it for the show, but unfortunately not.
You ordered it from Japan, or it's a Japanese movie?
Yes, Asia. Yes, Asia, Rob. So it's a little bit Japan, Korea, that kind of route.
I know. Yes, I'm very aware of how that works. Yeah. So all good. What a great show. Good show today. I'm sorry we didn't. Last week was the Super Bowl, so there you go.
Yeah, correct. With controversial halftimes and all that comes with it.
Right? It's all crazy.
The halftimes were more talked about than the game. That's for sure.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week.
Ja, on that front, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. As long as you're not listening to Starfleet Academy, which means you're watching it, don't do that.
I'm not caught up.
I hate that. I hate modern Star Trek. I don't hate anything. I like all kinds of people, but boy, do I hate modern Star Trek. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate what it represents. It represents an entire decline for the American way of life. Everything that I think is wrong with this country is embodied in everything Alex Kurtzman's produced since 2017, except Prodigy and Picard season 3. That's just me, though.
One exception to the rule.
There's always exceptions. And on that note, kids, I guess we'll sign out. This will be the end of Let's Get Physical Media, episode 229. I have no idea. By the way, I can't even believe that I apparently did Midnight Metal for 2 hours without Dave Parker. He left.
Yeah.
Hope he's okay. But anyway, I had Major Chai Chai, which is good. I gotta read one last thing because it's
okay. Yeah.
It's definitely worth reading, and I really do want to read it. I think you know what I didn't check? I didn't check super chats and tips, but I wanted to read something that Stubble McShave sent in last night. and
Robert.
Robert Giacinta sent in a tip. Robert Giacinta, I hope I got that right, says, my main issue with the plague is that the initial kid who was cast out was not a sympathetic character. He was just a strange person.
That is a little bit of a problem too. Yeah,
they
it's
never
not only about
humanize
the
him.
rash, he has a little bit of autism. Yeah, yeah.
And then he
He's right
doesn't
on
help
that.
out when the new kid is being beat up in his sleep. Totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Robert. You are an insightful person. But Stubble McShave shared a story last night about Stellan Skarsgård, which, of Sentimental Value fame. Stubble says, my favorite Stellan Skarsgård story. Paul Bettany and Stellan are best friends. When Paul and Jennifer Connelly had their first child, they named him Stellan. When Paul mentioned this to Stellan Skarsgård, Stellan answered, does that mean I get to suck on your wife's tits too?
That's typical Stellan.
You gotta love that. I mean, anyone who's seen the Radiance version of the Hotspot will know. The single greatest reveal of women's breasts happened in the Hotspot. And I know this because I was seeing it for the very first time at the Directors Guild in like 1990. And every single person, man or woman in the audience, when Jennifer Connelly was revealed topless, went, oh. They did. Every single person. I've never heard that sound in a theater before or since. So it was crazy. They are that good. So Stellan, he asks the right question. And you go, Paul Bettany.
Good.
You go, Vision. So.
And what I forgot, Rob, considering Marty Supreme, what I didn't expect, considering the soundtrack, that I would hear the song from Hardware in it.
Oh, right.
That I mostly know from Hardware, and that for me was Chef's Kiss.
Chef's Kiss.
And that was not on my bingo card to hear that song that I mostly know from Hardware in Marty Supreme.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, Dietz, more discs, more quips. We keep going as we do. Everyone, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. It's great to have you all. Thank you for supporting the channel via Super Chats and Tips. Thanks, Tom Jr. Jackson and all the moderating staff, Darth Plato, Lord Toth, and for everybody who just watches this crazy show.
Sure. Yeah.
Season 6.
So we
right?
shoot the shit and show some physical media.
That's right. And we'll see. Actually, I want to point out, do you know what comes out this week, bruh?
On physical media?
Ben-Hur in 4K.
Nice.
They spared no expense. 2 BD100s. Can't wait. I love Ben-Hur.
Awesome.
It's coming out this week. There's some great stuff. I mean, the thing is, I got to tell you. I was going to buy because Ben-Hur deserves a Steelbook, but I don't like the artwork on the Steelbook as much as I like the non-Steelbook.
Yeah. The only thing that you could do, Rob, would be actually buy the collector's edition from Europe. You get the outer artwork from the normal standard MRA on the outer box, and then the Steelbook inside. So you get.
You know what? I didn't think about that. I guess I'll have to do that and if you buy it from Europe, you get it in that great Warner Brothers box that I love to get.
There you go, Rob.
I love my Warner Brothers box. I like all
but
boxes.
It comes out later.
You know what I'm saying? But
you need to wait, Rob.
Warner Brothers
comes
box
out
is a
later.
good one too.
Yeah.
It's great to get them. Ben-Hur.
So the usual collector's edition from Warner, with some art cards, booklet, poster.
Yeah.
But you have the standard MRA cover on the outside of the box, which, like you said, is the better cover.
It is the better cover. But yeah, I do want to get it. People are saying it came out last week. Did it come out last week?
No, I think you're right.
It did come out last week.
Okay.
I'm wrong. It's already out. What's coming out this week? I didn't realize I'd forgotten. I'm ahead.
Yeah.
Lawrence of Arabia comes out again in 4K this week. So you can get that. 7 is also being re-released, and Cruel Intentions. So Ben-Hur is already out. So there you go.
Cool.
Maybe that means I have to go to the UK and see if I can get Ben-Hur in 4K and have them send it to me. We'll find out.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I will let you
will
go.
have to wait. I don't know the release date. I think April or March, something like that. Comes out later.
Yeah. probably.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But anyway, I will see you later. Yeah?
See you next week.
All right. I will
Boys and
see
girls.
you next week. By the way, there is a Ben-Hur Collector's Edition Steelbook, and it comes with a bunch of swag from
Yeah,
Europe.
that's what I meant, Rob.
But it doesn't come out until March
standard
23rd.
Emmerich cover on.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
Get the standard Emmerich cover on the outside.
Yeah, dude. I didn't even
And then
realize
the
they're putting
Steelbook
out that. Yeah, that will be mine. You can't.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
can't. I've always had the Ben-Hur book box set. I can't not have Ben-Hur in some epic. You know, it's you. I gotta have it. So.
Or you would have to do the switcheroo. You know, put the 4K in your.
Yeah, but this new version is really, really good. So I'm gonna get that one. So there you go. All right, man. Well, I will let you go.
See you next week, boys and girls.
All right. Bye, everybody. We're out. We are out, dude. That's it. We're good.